Well, I suppose we should start with checking if our transformer is good. I haven't measured across the windings on this one to see if any of them are shorted yet.
You want to check for shorts and for opens.
Shorts and for what?
Open.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
If it's completely open, then that's not good either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's filthy. I can tell you that much.
It's definitely a used transformer.
Oh yeah. It's a shame that other one couldn't work because it was brand new.
Yeah. Oh, you just need that one 28, 30 volt winding.
Yeah,
So
I've got a.
if this one's bad.
Yeah, I've got an extra transformer in my Mauser box that's just the 28 volt winding. So if this one's bad, we'll use that other one and then slip an extra transformer in the middle there. I can tell that the high voltage winding has one of the plastic insulators broken off, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. Ooh, it's got a note on the side that I didn't read. Power transformer. Primary, and then it lists off all the secondaries, as if though it wasn't written on the top. All right.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't differ from what's written on the top.
Yeah. All right, let's check some windings while we're still getting booted up here before I lift that 80-pound monstrosity up onto the table. Oh, the big bright white table is also going to wreak havoc on our white balance. That'll be fun. Akalar, you didn't miss the start. I missed the start because I accidentally unplugged the router. Whoops-a-doodle. All right, let's see if I can find, there we go, I've got it right there. The 150 AR manual. Go ahead and pull it up. I will also pull up Twitch chat. Ooh, we are dropping lots of frames. It'll stabilize out, hopefully. Pop out chat. There we go. Now I got a little bit of Twitch chat going on here. Yeah, it should be between 0 and infinity, but not one or the other. I think probably the resistance is going to be a couple of ohms, 2-3 ohms per. So E1, E2, boy, those are just my probes showing up at 0.3 ohms. I wonder if I can zero this thing out. 0.1 ohms, there it goes. It just takes it a minute. Also,
yeah,
you guys can
sometimes you also have to pull the probe out of the meter and shake it around, put it back in. Those connectors can be jank.
Yeah, I've had trouble with these probes before. All right, this is E1, E2. That's 0.3 ohms. There it goes. 0.2 ohms. That doesn't feel right to me.
You have your new one to compare with.
Yeah, I do. You're right. Because it's largely the same. That would suck if this one had a shorted winding as well.
The primary is likely to be a very low resistance.
Well, this isn't the primary. This is the 6.3 volt that's insulated to negative 4,800 volts. Yeah, it's showing up as the same, 0.3 ohms. Oh, come on. This one's all covered in solder. That's hard to get through. Yeah, those are okay. So E1 and E2 is showing up as nearly the same on both. I think that's probably okay. Ooh, F was wired differently. That's interesting.
The new transformer is actually the older of the two because it's for the older models of the 150, right?
This one, yeah, or the shiny one is for an older 150. This one is for a newer 150. Oh, I gotta blow my nose. This is gonna be gross. Sorry, guys. Y'all are gonna hear this a lot tonight. Allergies. I'll take the mic off. All right, yeah. If I look at like the layout of the windings, the newer one matches my later HP-150A.
But at least you have a spare for that.
Yeah, well, the nice one that I wish I could use doesn't match my 150A. It mostly does. It's missing one winding. All right, so B1 to B2 should be 131 volts. So the one that I just checked was E1 to E2, which is 6.3 volts at 600 milliamps, isolated to 4,700 volts. I mean, I suppose what I could do is just throw 120 volts at this thing and then measure the output windings. Like here on the bench, you know? I'm sure I've got a danger plug somewhere.
Brought it in, like maybe put 12 plugs, or get a variac, put 12 volts on it instead of 120, and measure down by 1 decimal. That should be safe.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it won't take 120 volts right out of the box, then there's nothing that we can do, right? That means it's dead, so. Yeah, let me make sure that all the windings here line up. B3 to C3 is a winding. B4
I was thinking more from
yeah.
Sorry about that. I was thinking more from the viewpoint of you contacting something live to God knows how many volts when it was on the mains versus dropping the power by a factor of 10 to decrease the chances of injuring yourself if you short something or something like that.
Somebody wired F1 to F4, whereas originally it was F2 to F4 is wired together. That's an interesting change. I think I'll remove that of theirs. They also don't have it wired up correctly here for 120. We're gonna have to do some cleanup work on this thing. You're what I'm looking for. That's weird. I don't know what HP-150, or this may not have come out of a 150. It might have been used in something else, you know?
Well, and those two windings, if they put them together, would get 12 volts. So they may have been using it for something entirely different.
Yeah.
Is this transformer the exact match, or is this the one that did you actually get that one yet?
Yeah, this is the one that's the exact match.
Because I wasn't sure. I thought you'd gotten it.
Yeah, I got it. This is it. We're looking at it.
There is the picture that you posted on the Friday Night Twitch channel that you took of it if you want to use that for reference, so you don't have to flip it over.
Oh, I'm just looking at the schematic here and just measuring across what the schematic tells me. So B3 to C3 is an interesting one, which doesn't measure. There it goes. I mean, they all measure like 0.3, 0.2 ohms because it's coils of wire. Of course, they're going to measure practically nothing.
Yeah, it's when they measure the 0.03 that your leads have that you worry.
I think we're fine. I mean, I think we could probably clean up the terminals and put 120 into it and see what happens. I'm gonna get the soldering iron warming up here. Because those terminals are rough. Get some solder wick out. Hopefully clean those guys up a bit. All right, let me see if I can find a danger cord. Sure, I've got one around here somewhere. Well, I might have to make one. I think I used my danger cord on something. No, I used it on the 68K computer. All right, so next question is, how do I reuse that without going too far off the reservation here? I have an idea. Probably not a good one.
Two bobby pins and some alligator clips.
No, the danger cord that I have has a plug on it because I put it on the 68K computer. So I'm just going to solder the terminal that plug plugs into to the things directly here, and then we'll desolder it when we're done. Yeah, all right. We're going to turn you off for now. We'll come back to you here in a minute. Soldering iron is warming up. Let me go grab my other one so I can make sure we get all the wires hooked up correctly, all the jumpers hooked up correctly on the bottom side. Ugh. I got 3 of these bricks. You guys can hear me whenever I walk out the door and I'm muttering to myself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure that I'm on the correct, the correct microphone.
If you were not, we would have noticed earlier when you took the mic off to sneeze.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess so. If you guys can't hear me when I blow my nose, that means that the mic isn't picking it up, which is good. All right, where is... because the A1 on this one doesn't have any jumpers across it. And I swear I should have had a jumper between A1 and A4 and A2 and A5 for 120 volt operation. Oh yeah, I did. We just removed them because they were in the way. That's right. So I need to jumper those across. which means I need solder. I need some, I guess, fat wire. How am I going to jumper those? I am ill-equipped today.
In addition to just being ill
Yeah.
with
All right, I guess we'll just use some stranded wire to do it. All right, let's see if we can clean these terminals up a little bit here. Get some fresh solder on it, make it easier to solder once we get it back into the thing. There we go. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, all right. Some water into that thing. All right. There's lots of old wire still left on these terminals because they didn't desolder it. They just snipped it. So if I can get all the old wire off of this, that'll make everything so much easier. There we go. I watched the new Running Man movie the other day. It was fun.
Yeah, but there's just something about the 1980s version with Richard Dawson, if you grew up watching Family Feud with him.
Yeah, I don't really remember the original one. I'm sure I've seen it, but I don't remember it hardly at all. I should probably go back and rewatch it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, it's a Schwarzenegger movie. It's a bit. It doesn't quite follow the original story, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, because it's a Stephen King thing, right?
Yeah, I think it was originally one of those stories he published as Richard Bachman
Okay.
under a pen name. Because his name got too big, and for smaller pieces like that, he didn't want the association.
Except that everybody immediately knew who it was.
Well, yes.
There we go. All right. This is going to be tedious and slow. I mean, I think Glenn Powell is a hilarious actor. I like him. Dude was also jacked for the movie. My God. He was in phenomenal shape. I don't know if he was as jacked as Arnie was. I mean, Arnie was always kind of the king of being jacked.
Oh, it was in the late 80s, mid to late 80s.
Oh yeah,
So,
Arnie was
yeah,
huge
Arnie was-
then. I do remember watching Commando, and it was just peak 1980s Arnold Schwarzenegger awfulness.
Oh yeah, lots of one-liners.
Oh yeah.
Commando. There's a Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero was great, man. I don't know, it got kind of terrible reviews, but it just it did a fantastic job of just kind of subverting the whole action movie trope.
I think the best one of that period was probably True Lies.
True Lies was also stellar.
Jamie Lee Curtis was so good in that, and that whole scene where she was doing that dance and fell down.
Yes.
That was real. She was not supposed to fall down.
Jamie Lee Curtis was hilarious in that.
That was a good one, but yeah, I love Last Action Hero. I think it was just not marketed right. People didn't realize it was subverting until they got into the theater.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of wanted it to be a 1980s action flick, but it was just so over the top because it was making fun of 1980s action flicks that people didn't really like it. And then he gets to the real world and he almost dies in a single gunshot because it's the real world. I thought that was it was great. That was the whole point, right?
It was fun. It was great. The thing that sticks in my mind with that movie is the whole car crash scene where he gets in a Ford Taurus.
Man, these terminals are gross. I suppose I could just solder to what's on there, but that just doesn't feel sanitary.
We can't also mention Stephen King without mentioning his Wang
Yeah, he had a Wang Rider.
computer word processor.
Yeah, he had the exact same one that I had for a while. I don't have it anymore.
I think he was uploading, I believe, by modem to his publishers.
I don't know if he was doing that via the Wang Rider. I don't think the Wang Rider really had that option. It did have a serial card option, so he may have gotten, a serial connection to an external modem. But the serial option is crazy rare. I never came across it. And if you don't have a serial option on the thing, it's a really closed system.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was kind of not a great design. I see why it wasn't hyper successful. It was also, it kind of came out in an era when word processors were losing market share by the day because PCs were getting cheaper and cheaper, right?
Yeah. And then they made a comeback, it felt like, in the the 90s? When the heck were everybody had a brother word processor with a daisy wheel at home or equivalent.
I don't ever remember them making a comeback. But then again, I was pretty young in the early 90s. The first computer we got at home was a 386. We didn't actually have a computer before then. And by the time you got into the 386 era, I mean, you didn't need to buy a specific word processor. A 386 could do it all.
Now, when you're
I
talking
feel
about
old.
uploading directly, you may be thinking about Arthur C. Clarke because he was uploading directly from his K-Pro.
Yeah, there you go.
That could be it.
Yeah.
All right. We're halfway there. This one in particular is massive. Looks like they really adhered to the bigger the glob, the better the job.
That, and who knows what kind of solder they used. So hopefully there's no silly dissimilar metal crap going on.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Bigger the glob, better the job. Works well for body work and welding. So why wouldn't it work here?
Yeah, bigger the glob,
Because
better
in
the
welding,
job.
you don't. In welding, you don't have to worry about corona discharge, resistance, or RF propagation effects.
Well, most of these are just 6.3 volt filament rails, so most of that is not an issue.
Yeah, just
Most of that is not an issue.
I just meant in electronics in general.
But yeah, this the F terminals are like twice as thick as everything else. Man, that's gross. All right, that's making pretty good progress. The E terminals, there's just two. That's our insulated winding. You can see why they broke off one of the wings on accident. It's really tight in here.
There was a missed opportunity. A transformer that is a transformer toy that turns into something else.
It would be kind of an inert
If that makes
tool, an inert toy when it's in its disguise form.
it hides on power poles. It's
Yeah,
a
there you go.
Decepticon.
But all it can do is hide.
Something. I have something along those lines. It's just a box. I think it's supposed to be a Japanese pack of cigarettes or a Chinese pack of cigarettes, but they changed the artwork here. It wasn't a real Transformers. It was one of the knockoffs you got at the cheap store, dollar store.
It was the we have Transformers at home.
It was the transforming robot toy Grandma brought for your birthday.
Yeah. She goes, that looks the same, right?
It's like when they got you GoBots instead of Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except GoBots were like moderately famous, I feel like. Not as big as Transformers, but
yeah,
I mean, they were the closest competitor, right?
They're not horrible, but or like the really weird knockoff, like GI Joe figures or Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
that just what?
Man, I can remember as a kid getting so excited to get a new Star Wars figure. I mean, really, the joy is the
I can
same. It's just
remember
different toys now.
I can remember my brother getting the certificate for Christmas in 1977 because the toys weren't ready. You got a certificate that you mailed in to get the toys back by mail.
That was your Christmas present? God, that must have been an anticlimactic Christmas present.
Well, you know, he knew what it was, and he did get the figures later, and unfortunately, of course, opened them and played with them because he was 10.
Well, that was the whole point of the figures, man.
Well, yeah, excuse me, he was 8, but yeah, it was understandable.
All right, let's do a little bit of jumper work here. A1 to A4, A2 to A5, I think is correct.
Still have my original Megatron, which I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's
the gun.
It's a Walther P-38.
Yeah,
it with no orange, no nothing. It's a P-38. Even says that on it, and has a ridiculous stock and the long barrel and a sight. You know, everything comes on and is removable, and of course it's broken in 100 different places. But
yeah, but that was why they changed Megatron for the new movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they didn't want to sell
and the
toy
robot
guns.
form was kind of scary.
Yeah, for the new movies,
Yeah.
the robot form didn't look like Megatron at all, you know? Like Megatron, it was Megatron in name only.
Yeah.
I just saw a video yesterday where they were discussing how Hasbro wanted to make a bunch of money. So in the Transformers movie, they kill off Optimus Prime right away. And this was causing kids to cry and parents to get angry, and everybody hated Hot Rod because it was his fault, and he ended up replacing Optimus, and it was a stupid mess.
I was there. I was 10 years old in that theater, and when Bumblebee drops, oh, this is Twitch, I don't want to curse. When Bumblebee drops the S word, you heard every parent in the place gasp in 1986.
There is a really good cover by the Cybertronic Spree of Dare to Be Stupid, which I guess was included in the original movie. I just don't remember it being in the movie.
It was in the movie, but you know the touch was the big song from the movie.
And I am a Weird Al fan, so I mean, I should have noticed it, but a long time ago, and I don't think I've ever seen it since.
See, and for me, it was all about the ninja rap for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man.
Splinter?
Yeah. I was thinking more Vanilla Ice, but...
I dropped so many quarters into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game with a couple
me
of my
too.
buddies.
Yeah, that was a great arcade game. I can also remember sitting at my buddy Jesse's house and playing NBA Jam just for hours. That was like, in my opinion, the greatest sports game ever made ever. Until NFL Blitz. NFL Blitz was also pretty good, but I think that was PS1 era. All right, so here's
I think I think for my brother and I, it was we had a ColecoVision, so it was Donkey Kong, which came with it, but was really a play it forever game.
All right, so this is my terrible idea, but could potentially work just fine. Oh. I am soldering a plug to the AC input so that I can plug an AC cable into it. All right. All right, and we need to make one more cross connection like that.
Nah, this ain't cursed. This is just par for the course.
Yep. I mean, I've like done this before, where you run AC into a transformer and then very carefully check all the windings to make sure that the transformer is healthy. You just got to be careful not to like go, oh, I slipped, and then put your entire hand on top of the thing. That'll ruin your day. Also,
yeah, blowing the tip off of your probe will ruin your day too.
Yeah. I on this HP-150A actually, when I was troubleshooting it, I was trying to check one of the voltage rails, and my probe slipped and shorted the 600 volt rail to ground. That put some nice pits in my probe and sounded like a bullet. Sounded like a gunshot went off.
Yeah, that'll get your attention.
Yeah. At that point in time, I was still in the small room inside. And so, like, Mickey came running in because she was, like, understandably a little panicked. Because she was like, it sounded like something blew up. Like, nah, I was just being dumb. All right, I think we can maybe test this one out now. Let me write down which ones I should probably check. And in what order here. Flip you over, grab a pencil here. All right, B1, B2 should be 131 volts. C4, C5 should be 128 volts. Let's see here. Where it gets funky is that one that's tied together. So that's the F. We don't have to worry about it until we get to F. C1 to C2 should be 30 volts. That's our special rail that we're missing on the other one. E1 to E2 should be 6.3. F4 to F5, F4 slash F2 to F5 should be 6.3. No, it should be 6.5 volts. Weird. And then F4 slash F2 to F2 to F1 should be 6.5 volts. And then B3 to C3 should be 6.6 volts. And B4 to B5 should be 6.6 volts. All right. This is such a short cable. That's the only downside about doing it this way. Oh, also I put it on backwards. Great. Now I got to cut this thing off. There we go. All right. Moment of truth. Is the transformer gonna spark and make terrible noises? You guys are waiting with such bated breath that nobody's saying anything.
Nobody wants to talk over it.
All right, here we go. All right, nothing exploded. Let's measure some voltages.
You might want to wrap some tape around the probes on your meter so you've got just the very tip showing to keep from shorting anything.
Oh, I have some of those things that pop around it for just that purpose.
Yeah, they're for higher voltage isolation.
Yeah, I don't know where they. Oh, there's one. I think.
I have a probe that or I have a meter that came with them.
Yeah, this meter came with them too. I never use them, so I always just throw them in a box and forget they exist. There we go.
I was just thinking you'd be rather heartbroken if you accidentally shorted and blew a transformer winding.
Yeah. That's true. .4 volt AC on, what was that, E1 to E2. So that one is good. Let's go B1 to B2 here. See if I can do this without killing myself. B1 to B2 is supposed to be 131 volts. And there it is at 135. That'll drop down to 131 once it loads up. C4 to C5. C4 to C5 should be 128. That's at 130. C1 to C2. Oh. That one really doesn't want to stick. Probe. There we go. That one's at 31. That's our special 30 volt winding. That one's good. Let's see here. F2 slash F4 to F5 is 6 volts, 6.6 volts. And to F1 is also 6.6 volts, so those are good as well. We got B3 to C3. This is a pain in the butt one to measure. .6 volts. That one is good. And then finally, B4 to B5. 6.6 volts. That is a good transformer. That can go back in.
Well, congratulations, you have a good part.
For the first time in a long time, apparently.
Well, it was rather cheap on eBay and had been salvaged who knows how long ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that this one's good too. It's just not the right one. So not only do I have a good part, I have the correct part.
Well, yes, that's. I'm still astounded that didn't show up in the earlier searches because I could swear I searched that part number before, but it didn't come up.
Well, and I searched HP transformer, HP power transformer, Payco transformer, Payco power transformer, and I never saw either of the two that I've got now. So I have no idea how I didn't see those.
Yeah.
All right. Now comes the fun part.
Well, the first part is to make sure you get that shorted 30-volt filament line figured out before you go any further.
Yeah, I don't remember what my notes were on that. I mean, I'm going to get the transformer in and soldered up, everything except for that particular line, I think. And then we're going to hunt that line down because I've already got the soldering iron mostly warm. And I just want to go ahead and get that thing out of the way. And if I remember, oh man, where are my notes on that? Because I think I wrote down what lines go to what. And you guys are gonna, instead of just making you stand there and look at the ground, you can watch me dig through my stack of paper notes over here.
Just for anyone that hadn't seen previous streams, the newer the new old stock transformer can't be used because it doesn't have the 30 volt that was used on the later serial numbers of HP-150 scopes, like the one Usagi has. That transformer is made for the earlier scopes where those filaments were in parallel instead of in series.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct. Yep. And so we had to get, and I'm sure they did that for like noise purposes or something. I'm sure they were having some stability issues or something. So they switched over to a parallel, or switched over to a series filament, a DC filament series string to, I don't know, presumably make life less painful. God, how long ago was this? Maybe I just don't have those notes anymore.
Was about a month ago? No, a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it was a
Before
while.
Christmas.
All right, well, we might be doing this by the seat of our pants. All right.
You did already label the wires on the transformer, or have you done that?
I think. Yeah, I think I labeled the wires inside of the HP. So once we get the HP up on the desk here, it may become more evident. I need a big flat head. Shorty flathead would work, but I would prefer for something. All right, I guess shorty flathead's gonna have to get the job done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that as I undid the wires, I put little pieces of blue tape on there that said, you know, this group goes to F1, this group goes to F2 or whatever. I got to readjust the upper mounts because they don't line up with the screw holes to tighten it down anymore. But that's a problem that's easy to tackle. All right. Ugh. Dang, I love this scope, but man, I gotta exercise more.
When your test equipment is heavy enough to cause a hernia.
Yeah, it's like a real deal problem. All right, lift with your back, not your legs. That's the phrase, right?
I think you got that backwards.
Okay. Yeah, I've got lots of blue tape in there, so hopefully that'll make it a little easier to get stuff soldered back up. I don't remember which one of these measured short, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
I'd say the short was the ones that connect to C1 and C2.
It was definitely one of the filament rails. All right, I got to get my makeshift plug off of here.
Yes, the aluminum ventilation fan that will chop your fingers.
Oh yeah, the Finger Slicer 3000. It's taken no prisoners.
Slices, dices, and makes julienne fries.
It's an open frame AC induction motor.
Oh, that's right. I got to remove this guy. All right. Yeah, it's the whole design of this thing was like, if you open it up, like we're not putting, you know what you're doing, so we're not putting any safety stuff at all on the inside. Like it's moderately safe on the outside if you've got the big case on it. So for like a customer perspective, it's plenty safe, but the moment you open it up, they were like, well, at this point it's an HP guy, so we don't care if they kill themselves.
Reminds me of the adjustment jig for doing the digital display indicator CRT adjustments on the FA-18 Hornet. It was basically an extruded aluminum rail box with sections of acrylic in it that were cut out where you needed to stick tools in to do the adjustments to try to keep people from, giving themselves a nice 30 kilovolt wake up.
30 kilovolts never hurt anybody, right? Right?
I did have to take one guy down to medical to get an EKG after he shocked himself by ignoring my instructions. The high voltage lines on the CRT were made of a silicone, and they had a tendency to crack. And this was a new guy that thought he was really, really good and knew what he was doing. And I told him, don't set your hand on top of that with the cover off when you turn it on, because there's a cracked high voltage line, you'll get a shock. Well, not 15 minutes later, no. I'm like, all right, turn it off. I got to take you over to the branch medical clinic so they can give you an EKG. Because that's a requirement when you get electric shock in the Navy.
He learned the hard way.
No, the fun part was the paperwork afterwards.
Yeah, that's always yeah.
He was not happy that I called quality assurance and reported it like I was supposed to.
Hey, you were just doing your thing.
And I had to write up the incident. Yeah, I wrote up the incident, and I made it clear how it happened, and he got some extra duty for it. His extra duty was having to read the high voltage electrical safety instructions and write them out in a copy by hand.
That's rough.
Well, the thing was he had to do it off shift in the shop, so he had to come into shift early, and he had to do it every day for 2 weeks. So he had to do it 10 times. I thought that was an appropriate extra duty.
And you got shocked on?
What's that?
Did they make him use the same hand that got shocked?
He was right-handed, and it was his right hand. So
there you go.
But it was, yeah. But yeah, that was. But so I guess that total would have been about 5 hours of extra duty. So
that's not bad. And he didn't die, so lessons learned all around.
Yeah, I mean, it was low current. It was just extremely high voltage DC.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike when we were working on the Bowman, and the laser stopped working. And I was going, I couldn't get the laser to turn on at all, no matter what I did. And I was getting a little frustrated because I was just out of ideas. I had no clue why the laser would just suddenly not turn on, even though it's been fine. And he goes, take the little circlips that connect the anode and cathode, to the wires off, and give them a clean, because sometimes those things build up an oxidation layer and then it doesn't want to fire up. And then he goes, also make sure that you short those out to each other before you do that. He goes, it won't kill you, but it hurts. And I was like, does it feel like getting hit by a ignition coil on a car? And he goes, oh yeah, you nailed it. That's it.
I was just thinking, you want to troubleshoot that short before you solder the wires on, because when they're connected to the transformer, they'll be shorted.
Yeah. I'm going to solder on the wires that I know for a fact were okay, and I think I'm going to measure them on the multimeter as I solder them on, so that way I can just get rid of the ones that we know are good. Just go ahead and get them soldered into place and out of the way. Don't even think about them, so that way I'm not constantly fighting the tiny amount of real estate that's in here. These were the. I remember these guys.
Before, but I had a friend who did TV repair back on CRTs.
What's that rotated?
And he had a outlet strip on the front of his bench, and he was working on a big color set. And the ground of that strip
What a pain in the
essentially touched his zipper, just say, on his jeans.
Ooh.
And he got on the second anode. Not the conduction path you'd want. Okay, but that was a story we all heard, put the fear of God in.
In the radar shop, a guy was working on a Hornet radar transmitter, and he did not have one of his waveguides tight, and it arced. And part of the uniform at the time in the Navy dungarees was a canvas belt with a brass belt buckle. So it arced right from the radar waveguide right to his belt buckle. Ouch. Worst part is that gave him an RF burn.
Yep. RF burns suck.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I once had an HF burn, pretty much a direct line across the palm of my left hand, and it annoyed the crap out of me for probably 2 months.
Oh, that's great. I don't know what that green wire goes to. That's gonna be a fun one to figure out.
That's when I learned That's when I learned not to trust somebody when they say the equipment is off, and to go pull the coax at the bottom of the tower myself.
My uncle was the chief engineer for KOMO Television and Radio in Seattle. The transmitter site was out on Vashon Island. And one of the transmitters he serviced was an RCA 50 kW AM transmitter that was built in the 1950s and had a transmitting tube about 3.5 feet tall. They had warnings posted all over the place, anywhere that in that power path, of the danger RF burns.
I think I'd rather be struck by lightning than have an RF burn, and I've been struck by lightning 3 times.
See, once I feel bad for you. 2 and 3, man, I feel like that's your fault.
I just don't go outside when the weather's like that anymore.
I've been nearly struck by lightning. Had it strike nearby while I was in contact with the body of an airplane, and it put a pretty good jolt through me to the ground.
That was kind of the second time for me, but I was working on a pickup truck, and I had a drop light hanging from the hood latch, and lightning struck nearby and threw an arc from the drop light to the engine block, and kind of threw me out of the way.
I guess that's better than throwing you into the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that old video of some poor guy survived an arc flash incident, and it knocks out power in the entire building he's working in. But then you see, it looks almost like somebody has opened a door, and you see the silhouette of a person moving. And then you realize that it's reversed, and what you're looking at is a man on fire walking down the hallway, completely numb to the fact that he's lit up like the Human Torch. He survived. He survived that. It was crazy.
I only had one incident where I was electrocuted to the point it caused massive muscle contraction, and fortunately, it threw me away from the contacts. So, I had to beat the crap out of the guy that took out my tag out lock if I could have walked straight immediately afterwards. Biggest thing for me was the biggest thing for me was that the guy stole the key to the tag out lock from the tool room, and he was not fired for it. That's what pissed me off.
Oh,
That's what pissed me off.
yeah. In that case, I would take, we didn't fire this guy as a signal for we expect wall-to-wall counseling.
This was a civilian company, and I was a teenager working there, and I don't know if they really understood how serious the incident was. It was a lot of that.
I don't care what their I don't care what their intentions are. I'm just saying how I personally would interpret that.
Oh yeah. It was one of a couple incidents at that place that. Yeah, it was my second summer working there, and it was my last summer working there.
I mean, I think there's a lot of companies that make decisions but don't fully understand what happened, like the gravity of what's going on. So in that case, it almost sounds like they just didn't have a clue of how dangerous it was and didn't particularly care to find out.
Well, it was also, I was working in the fixed wing department. He was in the rotary helicopter department, and there was two different bosses.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I'm pretty sure
it was an air compressor, and the small air compressor wasn't giving him the volume he needed for what he was doing because he was sandblasting, and he wanted more air. And I was cleaning the contacts on the 3-pole pressure switch because they were arcing because they had built up carbon. That's why it was tagged out. The problem also was that the switch tagging it out was on the opposite side of the wall, so you couldn't see that somebody was working on it. Hence why you tag it out.
Since we had a software engineer programming, working on a radar, about an hour in front of an open waveguide of a X-band radar, from a small aircraft, essentially. Right, pointed right at their abdomen. It wasn't transmitting for all that time, and it wasn't the largest. It was still a magnetron. There were just a ton of safety meetings after that. I was one of the software. It wasn't me that it happened to, but I was in the software group, so we had to have 2-person double check that all the dummy loads were on, and run an RF detector around it, and then they had RF detectors installed in the ceiling. Dummy loads were on, and that was a interesting time. It hurt, as far as I know, but they weren't taking any risks.
I mean, that guy didn't want children anyways, so it was all right.
Oh, it's worse. It was a woman.
I mean, she didn't want children
there's
anyways.
a lot more equipment in there to damage. It's not about the kids. It's about the cancer in 20 years.
Wow. I mean, we're all going to get cancer in 20 years. That's just part of the hobby.
We used to joke that the guys who worked in the radar shop would have FLKs, funny looking kids.
Yeah. All right, that's AC soldered up
So
and
wait,
high voltage.
is it just me? Is it just me, or is Curious Mark here?
Is he here?
Oh, he is. Hi, Mark.
What's up, Mark? You're back for the HP shenanigans.
Let's see if we can get him to talk.
Oh, hello.
How's it going, man?
Hello. It's going fine. Yes, HP attracts me.
Yeah, I didn't
like
even announce this one. I don't know how you
Bees to
knew.
bees.
It was like you've got a sixth sense for it.
I just
He has
I
speed trackers.
tennis, and I just saw in my email that you were on Twitch. I went, oh, HP, I'm missing that, so I jumped on it.
Yeah, we finally got the correct transformer for it, so we can hopefully get it going today.
At an affordable price.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that was $15.
Yeah, I would have paid. You could have put a zero on the end of that, and I would have paid that.
I bet.
I mean, 15 bucks is almost worth buying the transformer just to have a transformer. Like 15, like you can't get a good transformer for 15 bucks these days. That's gonna be skin in the middle of that. Well, it doesn't matter. It's
With
gonna be
good
so low.
deadly oil in it.
Yeah. All right. So that's 150 kilo ohms on the 130 volt rail. So that's certainly not going to be shorted. So this is B1. Yeah. If I remember, we had one of the filament rails that looked like it was at a dead short. So before we solder that filament rail up, I want to check. I want to go through and chase that one down.
I wonder if they make jumper leads that have a fuse socket in the middle so that you could temporarily fuse something lower than what its normal rating would be for testing. I mean, you could make it yourself, but it'd be a pain in the neck.
I'm going to have so many
Smoky.
burn marks on my hands after the end of this. There goes another one. Dang. My left hand is in rough shape. I just burned my finger, and I burned the top part of it later, and I burned my thumb.
Ooh,
Yeah.
looks bad even on camera.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt tomorrow.
See, my left hand.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt tomorrow.
My left hand looks in rough shape, but that's because I have a cat.
Hey, at least
Yeah.
it's not an RF burn.
Yeah, that's the one that got me. That one's already,
Yeah.
that one's through the skin. And I just got myself here too.
Tube time is not on. Let me.
He
call her, let me
usually-
ping him.
He usually jumps in a lot later. Because it's still pretty early in California, right?
It's 9 p.m. out.
Yeah, he's probably out at the bar picking up chicks.
Let me ping him.
Light the beacons, Gondor calls for aid.
Yep. I can't think of that without thinking thinking of the green text meme of the dude who pooped.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
It's so silly, but it
Is
makes
in
me
the-
laugh so hard. pretty sure these are all right there. And then these are there. And these are there. What are you? F2. So what the heck are you then? F5? Maybe all of these go together on F5 over there. And I just didn't get it good. You say you're F2. All right, the whole F block is a bit of a nightmare. We're going to come back to it. Let's see here, B5 to B4. Is that a legitimate? That is a legitimate connection. Let's see what the resistance on it is. Since it is a since it's a filament, I'm expecting it to be very low. 0.2, I think that might be our shorted one. Because 0.2 ohms at 6.3 volts is a lot. Yeah, let me check another filament rail. That one was what? B5 to B4? Let's see if I can find B3 to B2 here. Oh, that was no, B3 to C3. Let's see if I can find that one. There's C3. That's C4. There's B3. B3 to C3. Pretty sure this one's fine. That one's 0.3 ohms as well.
The other thing I was going to mention is I remember when I was much too young to understand it completely, I had a spoof version of Lord of the Rings made by the MIT press or whatever it was. It was Board of the Rings. And in that version, the two countries were named Two Door and Four Door. And it took everyone I showed that to way longer than it should have to get that joke.
They're sedans and coupes. All right. Well, I think our filament windings are just going to show up as incredibly low.
So have we ever elucidated which power supply schematics we should look at?
It was a weird mixture, if I remember right. Yeah.
What's your serial number?
This particular one is 2880.
Ooh, it's a newfangled machine.
Yeah, it's a really late one.
1413 now. 1440 and above, low voltage power supply. So you're the one that had
But I've got a weird DC filament chain that's in one of the earlier schematics, but not in the later schematic. So it's strange. I don't fully understand what's going on here.
Every one has a different filament chain. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so I'll try to
So
catch up.
B3
So you have the filament chain. What's the telltale thing in your filament chain that allows you to identify it?
It has a 30 volt winding, specifically for a DC filament chain. Yeah.
Or the E, which one? E filament chain?
The 30 volt winding is C1 to C2.
C1. It's very confusing.
It is indeed. This is back when HP was trying to be the very best. And I don't know if they were succeeding or not. Let's see here. That's going to be C1 to C2. I bet you I've got that one in here. That's still hot. All right, there's C1. There's C2. This is our 30 volt winding here. The problem is like I'm trying to check to see if, you know, they're shorted. But that one seems to be fine. C1 to C2 seems to be all right. But the straight 6 volt filament chains are so high current that and the tubes are so cold right now that it's just going to seem like they're at a dead short pretty much. So I don't know how to tell if I've got an actual short on one of my filament chains or if I'm just seeing the low voltage or the low resistance due to the temperature.
And how many variations do they have of these filament chains? I see one, 1390 and above, 40 to 1389,
They had a couple
340 and above, so it's not even consistent. I see 2 different filament chains. Okay.
Yeah, they've got as far as 6.6 volt windings go for filaments, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6 volt windings for filaments on here. There's a lot of tubes in this guy.
3, 4.
Oh.
And maybe I not remember we had 2 different manuals that did say different things too.
Yeah, I remember that one manual matched everything except for the DC filament chain, and the other manual matched the DC filament chain. All right, so that's C1 and C2 back together. So the rest of these are just filament chains, and I'm betting that they're all going to measure a little low. What is C5? Oh, C4 to C5 is our 128 volt one.
Should you unplug the tubes and plug them one at a time? Unplug all the tube in that chain, it's not that many, right?
It depends on which chain we're suspect of, right? The thing is, I don't know how to make a judgment if a chain, like, you know, if we have a filament chain to suspect, like, how do we know which chain is the suspect here?
Didn't you have one that you suspected was a short?
Yeah, but I mean, it could just be that, like,
they all look bad.
Yeah, the question is like, what is bad though, right? They all have incredibly low resistance, but it's all the tubes are stone cold, which means that all the filaments are going to have very low resistance. They need to get some power into them to come up.
If you put one tube at the stupid thinking is that if you put one tube at a time,
Oh yeah, we could check it that way.
maybe the resistance reading will be kind of normal, and then you just try every tube in turn, or at least that all the tubes are out, you don't see.
Yeah, right now all the tubes are currently in. Yeah, but
all the
these
chains looked low voltage, low resistance. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we'll check them all here in a second. I'm trying to get all the high voltage wires soldered on, so that way they're just out of the way and I don't have to think about them.
Yeah, sorry. Won't burn your fingers.
Oh no, that ship has sailed. All right, so now all we've got the F chain up there, which is like a full-on disaster piece. Let's see here. I've got C4 and C5 soldered in. I've got B1 and B2 soldered in. I've got the A transformer all soldered in. I've got the high voltage one soldered in. That's the, what is that, F1 to F2 or E1 to E2? E1 to E2, I think. Then I've got, what I've got left is, oh, I've got C1, C2 soldered in as well. So what I've got left is the F transformer up here, B3 to C3, and B4 to B5. So if I check the resistance of, what are you, C3 to B3. So if I check the resistance of C3 to B3 here, maybe, that comes out to 0.3 ohms, 0.2 ohms, which seems like way too high to me. But if I check B4 to B5 here, which is going to be this one to this one, I'm pretty sure it came out to like the same. Yeah, 0.3 ohms, 0.2 ohms on that one is on B4.
Seems normal then.
Yeah. And then F4 to F1, F4 to F5. So that's our B's there. The whole F chain here is kind of messed up because I feel like these guys are supposed to go over to there, but that doesn't quite reach right. Do I have a picture of what this looked like from last week? Not last week, from last year. Ooh, maybe I do. Boy, that's a weird layout on that one. Okay. So these dirty guys go, so you're my twisted one here. You go to there and there. So these two are going to be the F4, F5 one. So let me measure that one right quick. Of course, those are all separate, but maybe I can get them pushed together a little bit. Tell you what, let's just connect them. Because if these come out to also 0.2 ohms, I think it's far more likely that that's just what they're at and not that I have every tube shorted.
Agreed. Another thing that you could do is remove the plugins. Right?
But yeah,
remove every plugin, removes a whole bunch of tubes.
Yeah, there's only one plug-in. Let's see, that is 0.5 ohms. So maybe this chain has a 0.4 ohms.
They're all below 1 ohm anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, I don't know if my meter is that trustworthy.
It's low. I got it.
Yeah,
normal.
Sure that guy goes. Yeah, I hear you. Pretty sure this guy is going over to that side with the white ones. Stick on this side. Let's see if I can get these 3 wires to stick together again. So if I check that one to that one. Oh, that one is 0.0. So I think that one might be suspect.
Which one is that?
0.1. Oh, it came up to 0.2. That one is F1 to F2/F4. So I think that's the one that we're going to suspect, and I think the rest are probably okay, and I'm just going to get them back into place. The fact that it went to 0.0 initially is worrying. So I don't know if the F1, F2 chain has a particularly large amount of tubes on it. I think from a transformer standpoint, it's just about the same current as everything else.
$11 tubes says my
Yeah, that doesn't seem
schematic.
excessive. I mean, 11 tubes is going to be a low resistance, but
That's the longest chain actually.
oh, it is?
Them all.
Oh, all right. Maybe it is all right. I mean, inrush current is a bear on these guys.
So F3, F4 has 5 tubes. F1, F2 has 11 tubes. I can't read, it's too small. B something has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 tubes. C3, B3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tubes. E1 has just 1 tube, that's the one that's at -5 kilovolts. C2, C1 has 6 tubes. Yeah, so that's the longest chain by quite a bit.
Okay, so maybe the numbers are fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just I'm a little gun shy because I lost a transformer and I don't want to lose another one.
I would feel the same.
Also, these are just not soldering great, but I don't think it's not going to win any beauty contests, but I think it'll get the job done. Here we go. All right. Get you out of the way here. This is what, B4? Go ahead and get it in place. All right. Get B5 into place here. These two have kind of spread apart, so we'll see if we can connect them up again. Get a little extra solder up there. Fortunately, none of these are like high voltage, so even if they're ugly, as long as the connection's strong, I don't have to worry about high voltage collecting on sharp points. Oh. I think I'm gonna place a call to God tomorrow and ask him why he gave me such terrible allergies. Ask if I can get a refund on that.
Yeah, and his answer will probably be something along the lines of lol, lamau even. And that's a quote.
All right, so that's everything hooked back up except for these two up top that were making me a little nervous because they showed 0.0 ohms. But I think as my multimeter puts just a little bit of energy into them, we see the filament resistance come up slightly. Let's check it again here. It's showing 0.4 this time. I don't know. Let's send it.
How much does that?
I don't know. Let's send it. How much is what?
Hold on.
How much is what?
Before you send it, how much does that filament loop consume in current?
Well, that's what Mark was talking about. How it's this loop in particular is the biggest loop of them all. But the thing is like right now all the tubes are cold, so the current is going to be ridiculous because the filaments are going to have a much lower resistance when they're cold, right?
Right. Okay. What I'm getting at is this is is this DC or AC?
This is all AC.
But if you put a lower DC voltage there just to test the heaters, it wouldn't do too much. I wonder if you could put a current limited, but like put it on a bench power supply with a current limit and see what it comes back as before you risk your transformer.
Oh, it'll come back as a ridiculous number because you got to dump energy into them in order for the filament voltage to come, or the filament resistance to come down.
Right. So the current limiter should drop the voltage to basically nothing, but you should see it start to level out as the tubes heat, provided there's not a short. But if you see nothing at all and it just sits there and at zero, then you know you still have a short somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think we got a short. I think we're all right.
Or yeah, on that one. Or, do you have a variac that's strong enough to bring that one up slowly?
I think I do. I've never used it, so this might be a fun time to give it a shot.
But man, it has how many kilowatts go into that scope with 50 tubes? That's,
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty power hungry scope. I don't think it has any power ratings on the back.
I'm sure it's part of the dock. Let me take a look.
Yeah, the document probably says it in the very front about how much power it pulls, however many watts or whatever.
Size, weight, 500 watts.
500
It's
watts.
Not too bad.
What does that come out to in amps on 120 volt? Or I don't know. I have no idea what my variac is going to tell me.
About 5, right? A little less than 5, 4.5.
Yeah, I guess so.
4.7.
All right, let me go.
Pull out my HP calculator.
Oh, you got to do it in reverse Polish notation.
Exactly. But yeah, 5 amps, right? But particularly with the inrush.
Okay.
So it's a good little, a small microwave oven.
Yeah. It puts out about as much heat as a microwave oven when it's up and going. All right, I'm gonna, after I get these three tight, I'm gonna run upstairs. Upstairs, like directly above me. The variac is pretty much like I'm pointing straight up. That's almost exactly where the variac is. Directly above my head right now. All right, let me see if I can go hunt that thing down. It's heavy, so it might be able to do 500 watts.
Okay, yeah.
It also looks like it's from the 40s, so.
Yeah, those are all good things.
Yeah. Where did you go?
I have a Chinesium one, and that cannot do 500 watts for sure.
All right. Oh, good Lord, it's heavy. Oh my gosh.
That's a good sign. It will do 500. It will do 500 watts. Just from the grunting, I can tell.
I gotta blow it out because it got dust all in it, and I don't want that to. Dust explosions suck. This is gonna be loud.
Oh, it's okay.
No, it's not too bad.
I once was working on my bellet. I was doing all the body work on the bellet in a tiny garage in Japan. And I had been sanding for so long. I'd been sanding for like months just to get the body nice and straight. And I hadn't cleaned anything up. And I needed to weld something. And the welder was just coated in Bondo dust. And as soon as I welded, it exploded. That was my experience with a dust explosion. All right, this thing, is my Variac. Max current is 18 amps.
Yeah, it looks
That
the
looks
part. That will
glorious.
no.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
put
pretty
my
sure.
Chinesium one to shame. This will do.
I'm pretty sure this will handle it.
Yep.
That is a beast. All right.
That Variac wouldn't happen to have a fuse in it, would it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh boy.
It looks like it was made before people had ideas about fusing things. I've never used it.
It's a Variac. It's for testing space heaters.
It's made of fuse wire.
Yeah,
fuse wire.
No, this Variac was intended for fusing, but in the sense of joining things, not.
Yeah, like welding. Welding fuses metal together. That's all we're doing. All right, let's go. I'm sure my time delay relay is going to hate this, but tough. That stuff over to here. I'll get the trash can right quick. Oh, you guys are just looking at the floor.
True story. I once bought a Variac that was 400 hertz, and I didn't find out until after I'd paid my money and gotten it. So I got rid of it because it was 400 hertz, but it would have been really handy.
Why would a 400 hertz Variac be handy?
Ah, you'll have to ask Mark.
If you have a B52, some B52 electronics, you need some.
That's right.
Oh, all right. Are you working on some B52 electronics?
Yep.
Excellent. I just discovered, I must have missed it, about a year ago, you did a video, you and Eric did a video on a spectrophotometer, like a little desktop sized one. Yeah, I just bought, see that little guy down there? As soon as the video catches up.
I see several things.
Oh,
Yeah, the cream one.
Yeah,
Cream colored one.
It's a little Bausch and Lomb
cute.
spectrophotometer that's just sitting on the floor. It's a far shot different than the interferometer that's currently right over there.
That's a beast, man.
We got some good spectra out of it yesterday.
Yeah. Congrats.
On a PDP-11, like looking the part, doing the work. It was great. Finally.
Wait, did it before you transform?
Yeah.
Wow.
With a big ol' chunky FFT specific vector processor. I've got 2 spares right there. Once the video catches up.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are Waytech WTL 1032, 1033 for hardware multiplier and adder. AM29116 for the microprocessor. More static RAM than you know what to do with for the 1980s. They're cool.
what's that brown chip-looking thing next to the chip in the middle of each of the boards?
That's the 29116, but I've got a bunch of heat sinks taped to it.
Ah,
Oh, good lord. Okay.
The 29116, when that vector processor is powered up, runs at about 62 degrees Celsius, and it's rated for up to 70. So the heat sinks were a good idea.
Yeah.
bipolar.
Yeah, that thing runs hot.
As near as we can tell, they can do somewhere between 15 and 18 megaflops.
Yeah, that's a solid guess. They give the performance in like number of dot products per second, which is what a weird performance metric.
I was just thinking when you were removing that variac and making all those old dad noises, that a variac like that with a handle would make a pretty good kettlebell.
It would make a pretty good kettlebell.
Grab it by the handle. It's for the Usagi Electric Ancient Electronics Workout Plan.
Yeah. Yeah, the vintage electronics exercise. I was talking to Dave McGuire, and we were talking about how runners have like a certain physique. And I was like, particularly long distance runners. And I was like, oh yeah, I ran cross country in high school. And he goes, but you lift heavy things now. And I was like, well, I quit running cross country. So it's funny. McGuire's image of runners is not a whole lot of strength to move big, heavy equipment around. All right, I've never used this variac. Actually, if I'm honest, I've never used a variac, so this will be an experience.
The important thing is figuring out which direction is down and which direction is up.
Oh, it's marked. I've got.
Oh, okay, good.
I've got 0 to 130. It would be very cursed of them to do it backwards.
One thing I would
at 130, right? Not over voltage.
One thing I would recommend is to get an AC voltmeter on the output, because the quote-unquote calibration on the scale where the pointer points at, it's really not that accurate because it varies depending on the load as well.
Yep, I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I was going to recommend the same thing.
Also, I think it would just be kind of curious to see what it does. Let me see if I can find my probes that clip on here.
See, this is the point where I hook it up and I start cranking up the variac. I'm like, it's 0 volts. And I crank it all the way up to the maximum. It's still 0 volts. And then I simultaneously notice that the meter is set to DC volts, and then smoke comes out of the instrument I'm working on. Don't be me.
Yes. All right. We'll turn the variac on, but this guy is still off. So that's at an AC of 2.5. See, that should be about 20. That's pretty accurate.
And it'll probably go into the shitter as soon as you put load on it, so expect that.
Oh yeah. Well, we're going to start at 3 volts. All right. I mean, I'm not sure what we're expecting to have happen here. There's 30 volts AC.
I mean, it seems good. If there was a short in the filament circuit. Oh, you have the power turned off? The power switch, maybe?
Nope, it's on.
Okay.
We haven't gotten the AC fan to spin yet.
You wouldn't see that, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I bet you the power switch was on, but I bet the main fuse is not in there. Well, he's not doing anything. This feels weird. Yeah, because it's missing a fuse. All right. Oh, what are you? You were slow blow, if I remember. What am I missing the most of? 6 amp? 5 amp? We'll go with a 5 amp slow blow. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Actually, do I have the schematic still open? The schematic tells me. Yeah, JBev, it's definitely a slow blow. I'm just trying to figure out how many amps it's supposed to be. 6 1/4 amp. Kind of a weird metric, but okay. Guess I'll go with 6 amps then. All right. This should now do something. Hopefully not explode. All right, round 2. Variac is on at 2 volts. Main power is on. There's 10. There's 20. There's 30. There's 40. There's 50 volts. I mean, again, nothing's happening. I don't see any glow on any filaments either. I would have expected the fan to start spinning by now. At 70 volts. I'm not going crazy, right? Like at 80 volts, the fan, the AC fan should spin.
Try pushing it with, push the blade with something that's not your finger and see if you just have to overcome the mechanical resistance.
No, that's not it. I mean, there's 100 volts.
I would expect
there's 100 volts.
Yeah. No, we should have something by now. Something's up.
Yep. I agree. Did we? Oh, we immediately blew the fuse.
Immediately as
that's
soon
not a
as
good
you
sign.
applied
That's not a good sign.
power, or when you got to 120?
That much I don't know. But the fuse blew.
Is it blown?
But the fuse blew. Oh no, it's definitely blown.
Okay.
Oh no, it's definitely. Why did the
Yeah, we may
fuse
have
blow?
come up
Why did the
too-
fuse blow?
We may have come up too quick on the voltage, because when you first start, it's going to want to draw a fair amount of current, but if you have the voltage low enough, there's not enough voltage to create enough heat to blow the fuse.
Well,
And so you're kind of letting the thing charge.
the fuse never should have blown, is the point.
Yeah, if everything's working, but we know it's not, right?
Yeah, I'm concerned that my slow blow fuses that I got are not actually slow blow.
I mean, if you're bringing it up on a Variac, it should be fine, even with a fast blow fuse. But I suspect there might be something wrong with that filament circuit that you were measuring the 0 ohms across earlier.
Yeah, I'm suspecting the same thing, that we got something's not right somewhere, that's for sure. All right. Variac, I love you, but you got to get off the table right now. I need to get back to the bottom of this thing.
Be careful when you do it that you don't touch mains.
It's all off. All unplugged. All unplugged.
It's also 120, so it'll be a bit tingly, but not that spicy.
Yeah, it'll just wake me up a little bit. Maybe it'll give me some clarity of mind. All right, so the question is it a filament circuit or is it something else? That's our first question here. Let me get my other probes out here.
When you measured the resistance of the filament circuit, did you disconnect the transformer, or were you just measuring it across?
It was before it was before I resoldered the wires to the transformer.
I see. Okay, so it should be whatever the resistance is downstream.
Yeah. So it should not have involved the transformer. I mean, it's all soldered up now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I did a rough calculation for like 50 tubes, and it should be like half an ohm. So it's low, but it's not zero. I guess it depends on how much you trust your multimeter to measure resistances less than an ohm.
Not that much. It's a cheap one.
Okay.
Also, yeah, I'm not sure. It's got to be one of the filament circuits. I mean, this was the one that was suspect the most, and this is gonna measure low because it's measuring.
Ooh. Yeah, that looks like a dead short.
But they all look like that because I'm measuring across the transformer. Right? So like even if I go to like one of the high voltage windings. Oh, that was not too bad.
Yeah, I'm just going to see the coil.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm looking at whatever the internal resistance of the coil of the transformer is. Yeah, that one shows 0.0 volts on B4 to B5, which is, the coil plus all of the cold filaments.
I almost hesitate to mention it, but one thing you could do is disconnect one leg of the filament winding and then try to power it up with a variac to see if you get the same problem. You don't want to do it for too long because the tubes, yeah, they don't really like running without a filament voltage present, but it's okay for like a short period of time.
I'm not sure. Not sure what that'll tell us. Actually, there might be a better way to try that problem. Because I can disconnect pretty much everything using plugs.
Oh.
So like, if you look in the schematics, J22, J23, these are plugs coming from the power supply to the main thing. And I can, J16, I can find these and disconnect them. Yeah, J22 I can pull out, J20 I can pull out. So I mean, I could disconnect absolutely everything. J14, J23, J20, J2, and J13, that looks like. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that like that gets, so there's J22 and J23. I can undo those. That isolates a whole lot of stuff. The whole power supply board, actually. I can do J10, whatever J you are, J9, and J8. And then this one here, I don't know what J that is for the high voltage circuit, but I got two over here that should essentially isolate the HV circuit, so I can undo those. So those guys are now out of circuit. And then on the other door, I can get J13, J14, and presumably J15, even though it's not marked as such. Yeah, J15. So that should be pretty much everything disconnected. Like, I think at this point it's literally just the power supply.
You
Just
also
the
check
transformer.
if your diodes that were blown before are still there.
Well, so I've replaced those with new modern diodes, which are correct.
But it was a little bit suspicious that all diodes blew, right?
Well, not
Can you
all of them,
check
just 4. We lost. Oh, you're afraid that maybe they blew again? I don't think so. I check though. Nah, those are fine. Yeah. Yeah, so the replacement diodes are still fine. I don't know about the rest of the diodes, but testing those is kind of a bear to get the probes in there. So right now, everything, even all the filaments, should be fully disconnected. So I should just be seeing this junk here on the bottom. Are you loose? Yeah. Let's go ahead and just get this guy out of the way. There we go. That's the plug-in module gone. Like, there's just not a whole lot left in the system right now. And if I'm popping the main AC fuse, that's worrying. That's 3.2 ohms. Let's check U to U. See, that shows 0.0 ohms between B3 and C3. But if I check between B3 and C3, I've got J21 removed. So B3 and C3 should just be the winding of the transformer.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, I don't think that we instantly melted another winding. That would be...
You would have smelled it. Oh, maybe not because it's
yeah, it's all potted.
Encapsulated.
But also, it's a 6.6 volt massive amperage winding, so it might, you know, my meter here might just not be reading low enough, you know.
Could be, yeah.
And we know all the windings were good before they were soldered in because you tested it. So.
Yeah, we tested it. We checked them all with power on them, and they were putting out the right voltages. So.
Do you have another 6.3 winding that you could check the?
Yeah, I can check this one up here.
Resistance from.
That one says 0.1 ohms. 0.0 ohms.
So it's normal.
I don't know if that's normal, but that's what we're seeing.
Copper.
0.1. 0.0. Yeah, I think it's just like we're seeing the winding of the transformer comes out at 0.0 because it's such a high current, low voltage winding.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be thick wire with not that many turns, right? So what could be causing it to blast fuses?
Well, try it with your variac again, because the variac you should be able to have low enough power so it won't blow the fuse. And see if one of the windings gives you a weird voltage.
Unless my fan fried.
Oh.
Which is not something that I ever would have thought would happen, but the fan
That's
is
a thought that's way before everything else.
Yeah, and if the fan is at a dead short on the inside, that's just a straight dead short across AC before it even ever makes it to the transformer. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great thought.
Might be tough to find a replacement though. There is a website though that only sells fans.
You know, I've often thought about going to that website and starting my own vintage electronics fans thing.
Yeah, a lot of people are into fans for some reason.
I have no idea what the primary winding is going to measure out as, but right now across the primary windings, it's showing 0.2 ohms.
Ooh, that's no good. Disconnect the fan. Yes.
Yeah, I guess we'll remove one leg of the fan and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on now. The fan's a person. You can't just remove their leg.
That's all right. It's one of Mark's fans. My fans don't love me enough to let me remove one of their legs. All right, we got to let the soldering iron warm up a bit here. I mean, I genuinely don't think it's the fan, but if the fan was shorted, that could certainly cause what we're seeing.
Like you've just proven that you have a dead short on your primary.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is 0.2 ohms a dead short? Like, what is the primary winding supposed to measure to?
Usually higher than that.
100 ohms. That 50 ohms.
Let's see what it does.
I see RT302 and RT301. So on the schematics.
RT. Oh yeah, those don't exist on mine.
Okay, I don't even know what that would be.
Yeah, they those I
like
don't remember ever seeing those.
And also it could be, and then there's the whole switcheroo for 220 to 110 volts.
Yeah.
If you don't do it correctly, you could also short out something.
Well, okay, so our new old stock transformer is showing 0.4 ohms across the primary. Yeah.
But that's without the parallel jumpers for 120, right?
No, that is with the parallel jumpers for 120.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because this one had those soldered on. This one shows 0.2 ohms, but that could just be that we're seeing the coil of the fan and the primary coil in parallel, right?
Yeah, it could be.
You want to try it at low voltage with the variac and see?
Yeah, we can.
Is transforming.
Yeah, if you set it to something low, like 10 volts or whatever, then you can also check the secondaries to see if the ratio is going to give you the correct voltage.
Yeah. If it doesn't immediately explode the fuse. Where did I put all my damn fuses? There they are. All right. Let's unplug you. All right.
You have an AC clamp, AC ammeter clamp?
Yeah, but I don't have a loose single AC wire that I could clamp to.
Yeah.
Let's bring you around. Let me toss in a lower current slow blow. Because right now there's absolutely nothing involved. This thing shouldn't be pulling any current. Because everything is disconnected. All right, we'll get the variac set to 10 volts there. And I believe if I check across the primary on the windings here, that'll be 10 volts unless the fuse blows. So maybe we'll be able to see if and when the fuse blows. Does that make sense?
Yep, like that.
Set you to AC mode. Hook on to you. That one didn't hook on very well. Well, it might be harder to do that than I was expecting. I don't have all my wire up here, is a little too thick. There it goes. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Variac is at 10 volts. Power switch is turning on now. And I'm still just seeing 0.4 volts across the primary. If I turn that off and pull the fuse out, I bet. Oh no, the fuse is
might have blown it.
still good. How come we didn't see anything across the primary there though?
Maybe it's dropping the voltage in the cable or something. Like there really is a dead short.
Maybe your fan is really bad.
Could be. I mean, where's it getting my half a volt of AC? Is that just from inductance in the room?
Energy.
You're plugged in, you're plugged in. Let me double check that I've got 10 volts coming out of the thing. Yeah, it's actually 11 volts, but that's fine. Oh, there we go. Now I got it. It's 9 volts across that. So if our, let's see here. If I can bring my variac up to the point where we've got 12 volts on the AC, I should see exactly 0.6 volts on the filament winding outputs. But, oh, there it went. So that popped the fuse once we got up to about 12 volts. I couldn't get it any higher than about 12 to 13 volts, and then the fuse snapped.
Wow. How big a fuse was that?
It's a pretty small fuse. I think it was like a 3 amp. 2 amp.
200 watts.
I mean, I don't think the fan
no,
pulls
not
200
even,
watts.
Because you were at a couple tens volts, so it was like 20, 30 watts.
Yeah, so
the video.
oh, did the video go away?
I'm not seeing it here stuck, but
You might have to refresh Twitch. Sometimes that happens.
fresh.
All
Oh,
right,
I'm getting
well-
ads. Yeah. Yeah. We're back for the ads.
Yep.
Are they any good?
I don't know. I don't get any money from them. Those ads are purely for Twitch's servers.
I always get ads for beauty products for some reason. I don't know if they're trying to tell me something. Kind of half expecting ads for PCBWay, but I don't think Twitch is quite that plugged in, shall we say.
I had a new PCB manufacturing company leave a comment on one of my videos saying that they wanted to work with me. I don't put like my contact details out there, so that nobody knows how to get in touch with me for sponsor deals, which is kind of how I like it. But I had never heard of the PCB company. It was like On PCB or something like that. It was one. It's not usually it's JLC or something else, right? That you're always hearing about.
Well, there's a bunch of them out there.
All right, that's one leg of the fan removed. So what should the resistance of a fan coil be?
Guess it depends on the fan.
Because that one's 46 ohms. That doesn't sound like
That seems okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't seem like a dead short. My primary winding now is 0.6, 0.5 ohms. So like what the heck can be popping fuses? There's like practically nothing else connected right now.
Why did you disconnect? You still have your diode bridges, right?
Yeah, I guess so. The diode bridges are still in place. And I need to rotate the view on this page. So I think the main power supply regulation tubes are all still in place. I swear I've got those disconnected as well, though. Yeah, because I've got P23 removed and P22 removed. So the only things that are actually still connected are the rectifier diodes, the smoothing caps, and the thermal time delay relay.
That's usually to prevent the plate voltage from being applied until the filaments have had a chance to warm up.
Yep, that's exactly what it's for.
The other possibility is that the rectifier tubes have separate filament connections.
They're diodes,
be like...
they're not tubes.
Oh.
They're solid state.
What kind of diodes?
The kind that we exploded 4 of them. I've replaced them and they're good. And the rest of them still measure good, or measured good the last time I tried.
Were they like selenium or something?
No, they're silicon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're weird. They like pop into fuse holders. It's kind of a strange thing.
Wow.
Strange thing to have. But yeah, I don't think our fan is the problem here, so I'm gonna get it back on base. So I'm kind of running out of ideas here. I mean, yeah, we could still have a diode short somewhere, I guess. I certainly didn't.
Yeah, I hate to have you do more resoldering, but Put one secondary in service one at a time. How many secondaries do you have? You have a whole bunch.
But do you think a secondary short would reflect to the primary DC though? That doesn't seem right to me.
I'm starting to think that our old transformer was never shorted, and we've got something else going on here.
Yeah, that could be.
Our old transformer may be totally fine, and we're seeing it pop fuses for a completely different, unrelated reason, and that the secondary are totally fine.
You could test the old transformer.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I could definitely solder the little connection to it, fire it up, and check all the voltages on it. And that would prove, you know, definitively if the problem was never a transformer short or not.
Well,
but that
like they say, don't burn your diode bridges until you come to them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That doesn't solve our immediate problem of why the main fuse is shorting out.
Well, it might be worth testing it just to see if there is a bad secondary winding. Because if there is, that'll give you a place to start troubleshooting. Possibly.
True. Yeah. All right. Let's, I can do that. Let me get this big boy off of the table right quick. All right. Let me find the one that has a hole in it. This one. Because we drilled a we drilled a hole in it. And I also need to solder up the bridge wires for 120. Because the bridge for 120, I mean, this is worth double checking as well. Anybody that's got the schematic open. But if I want to set it up for 120, I solder A1 to A4, A2 to A5, right?
The way you did it on the other one had to be right because you tested the voltages after doing it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right. And the voltages were correct. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so if the windings are correct, if we don't have a blown transformer on this one, I suppose that's good. It means I've got a backup transformer.
With a hole in it.
Well, I can plug the hole. It's not a very big hole. And actually, I don't even think I need to plug the hole. The whole thing's potted on the inside with some kind of black goo.
Just so many freaking windings on that transformer.
There's a bunch. I'm still... All right, so while I'm soldering this, maybe somebody can sanity check me here for a second. The main fuse is where the dirt dauber nest was. Right? The dirt daubers built a nest on the backside of the main fuse. I cleaned the dirt dauber nest off, but I don't see how a dirt dauber nest on the main fuse, on the backside of the main fuse, that is now no longer there. I mean, the dirt dauber nest is no longer there. I don't see how that could be causing the fuse to blow. I mean, unless the slow blow fuses that I ordered off of Amazon are not actually slow blow fuses. But even if it wasn't a slow blow fuse, if it was a 2 amp fuse, it should be able to handle nothing being plugged in, right?
And then you brought it on slowly anyhow, right? It was
Yeah.
still there at 9 volts, and it's so that's not a fuse speed thing. You had too much amperage in the
Yeah,
thing
that
at
can't
some
be it.
point. Is it on the primary? Is it on the secondary? I'm afraid to say, but I would disconnect every single secondary from the thing and then bring them back in one by one. But after you spent all this time soldering them all in.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to that, we can do that. I'm still not
check the voltage at each of them.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that it's a secondary problem.
No, but you would know which sub part of the power supply is causing it.
How about removing the primary input from the new transformer and seeing if the fuse blows without the transformer connected at all on the side?
And by the way,
That's a good
you
idea.
have several transformers in here. You have T2 and T3 and T1.
So T3 is inside the T3 is inside of the high voltage section, and I'm pretty sure that's currently unplugged because I think you can remove T3 from it. Maybe? Because T3 I don't think runs on mains, does it?
It shows connected to the
Oh, it shows it
plug.
connected to mains. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
T2 on the other hand, that's a big transformer on the right side that we haven't touched yet. Oh.
That's also straight on the plug, so we might be
All right, hang on, I gotta
using a transformer. So there's T2, T3, and T1. So yeah, first we should maybe try to figure out which of the transformers pulls too much. Right.
Yeah.
T2, T3. What is where is T1? I don't see T1.
T2 I think is the one that we're currently working on. T1 is going to be the big boy right next to it.
Is also powered by the main.
I think so.
T2.
There's two large transformers on the bottom. There's this guy that has a bunch of taps. Then there's the other guy that only has like 2 secondary windings on it.
Yeah, that's T3. Isn't it? 230 volt DC. And the thermal delay relay on it. So maybe we are.
Maybe that thermal relay is gone.
Maybe the problem is in T3, not T2.
Yeah.
How would we isolate that? Well, it's one wire that disconnects T3.
My danger plug kind of came undone here.
I think we're going to blow a few fuses today. A few more.
Yeah, I should order some more. All right, there we go. Now we can test this big guy. This is the one this is the original one that we pulled out, assuming that it had a bad winding. And now I'm not convinced at all that it's got a bad winding. As a matter of fact, I think it's probably totally fine. But let's check it just to be sure.
Don't forget your probe insulators.
Let's put them on right now. Yeah. All right, so let's see here. You guys can kind of see what's going on here. So that way
You
when I
have your
electrocute
handy
myself. Yep, I got it right here. So let's start with the obvious and check to make sure that we're getting mains up here. It helps if I'm in AC mode, huh? No, I've got mains of 5.5 volts. That doesn't seem right. I mean, I didn't pop a breaker or anything. Why would mains be so low?
Because it's being pulled low by a heavy load. If you've got a shorted secondary, wouldn't that be a heavy load?
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, there it is, 120 volts. How about just crappy connections?
Okay, that'll do it too.
Yeah, that's wild. So I can measure it here on the wires coming into the transformer, and it's 120 volts. But if I measure it on the actual wires of the transformer, there it is, finally, got my 120. I just had to push through a bunch of oxide or whatever. A bunch of flux probably. All right, so we got 120N. Let's check E1, E2. This should be 6.3 volts. Let's see if I can do this without injuring myself.
I like the comments. It's just they're afraid you're going to black out half of Texas.
ERCOT doesn't have a great reputation. All right, so E1, E2 is great. That's at 6.3 volts. Let's check F1 to F2. It's at 6.8 volts. Let's check F4 to F5. It's at 6.8 volts. All right, let's move over to the C. C1 to C2 should be 30 volts. 31 volts. C4 to C5 should be 128 volts. That's the one that's going to hurt if I touch it. That's at 131, which I'm pretty sure is totally fine. This is the one that sucks. So if I can get onto the B3 to C3.
I think you had 130 on that with the other one.
Yeah. So that's 6.8 volts on B3 to C3. That's totally fine. B4 to B5 should be 6.6 volts. 6.8 volts. And then B1 to B2 should be our 100 and some odd. Come on. There it is, 136 on B1 to B2. And 30 volts was a C1 to C2, right? Which is what we had. Yeah, that transformer is totally fine. We didn't need to replace the transformer at all. Okay.
Oh.
Well, that sucks, but also means that I have a spare transformer.
Yep.
You disconnect T3. See if that helps.
Yeah, let me get this thing cleared off and get the big boy back up here.
A workout. It says 80 pounds.
Is that what it says in the manual?
Yeah, they don't list the same weight between the two manuals, but in that range.
It feels like 80 pounds. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's go. All right. I don't know where each of the T's are. So this guy down here has mains coming in here, and then it just has B terminals coming out of it. What one is that?
That was the high voltage transformer, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did you check? Were you, welcome back, Avery.
Someone let me know that you were testing it, and I watched that.
Oh, you watched it. So that transformer was good, man.
How did it test that way when we were going through it?
First impressions is that my digital multimeter is shit.
Oh, that could be. That could running.
We saw the failure we were expecting, and that's confirmation bias.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I've got the new transformer soldered in, and I'm pretty sure I've got everything soldered up correctly. The only thing I'm worried about is that my insulation on the one that's insulated has kind of peeled back a little bit. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it'll be all right. We'll cross
if you
that
really
bridge when we
need
get to it.
Buy some Corona dope.
Yeah. Or I can just have some spicy sounds on the occasion. So T3 is going to be this big guy down here, and we've got B1 and B2 as one part of T3, and then B3 and B4 and B5 as another part of T3. So this big guy here is T3 on the bottom. That would be my next suspect, particularly the weird R338 and R339 resistor dropper between CR31 and CR32. That's kind of strange to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm pretty sure are these two dudes right here in parallel, which should go down to about 1 ohm or something across them. What is that? 5 and 5 or 3 and 3? Can't quite tell.
I'm trying to think. We were blowing the primary on that.
I mean, we're popping fuses like crazy still. So something is
blowing
still
the primary.
Something is still very wrong.
Might have a short circuit on the AC side. It might not actually be a transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's an installation problem with some of the wires, something like that. Maybe hitting the chassis.
All right.
That was my initial thought that first time, but I don't.
Okay,
I don't remember the result.
Yeah. So that must be 5 and 5 because that comes out to 2.6 ohms across that. So those two are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a short on the primary. So it's not a secondary thing that's causing a problem at all. It's purely a primary thing. The question is where or how? The only thing I can think of is that F1 is somehow shorted to chassis ground. If the fuse has a short to chassis ground, we're essentially just creating a circuit between the AC plug and the AC plug, right?
Yeah, but then we wouldn't see anything on the transformer primary, and I thought we saw voltage on the transformer primary.
Yeah, we saw up to about 10 volts on the primary, I guess.
You know what you could do? Unwire the primary on the transformer and put your death plug on it.
On the transformer itself? Oh, so
yeah.
you mean straight onto the transformer? I'm not sure how that would.
Onto the transformer lugs.
I'm not sure how that would.
So you don't have the power
out.
strip. You bypass the fuse and all that, so you can just rule out the wiring in the chassis.
Well, the other option would be to just lift one leg off the transformer primary, and then see if you see any 0 ohms across the power cord.
That too.
I don't know which one's easier to do, but lifting one of them only involves moving one wire, not two.
Yeah,
must be a different revision. I'm just trying to
Revision
understand
differences on the scope.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what is going on before, like, the tests that you guys are suggesting are good tests. Like, I want to be clear about that. You guys are making excellent suggestions, but I don't know what it teaches me, like, about what's potentially broken. Because I'm looking at, like, I get what you're saying. You're trying to isolate the primary side, right? But I'm looking at the primary side, and there's nothing on it except for the switch, the thermal cutout, which has been bypassed. I mean, unless my thermal cutout bypass is somehow shorted to chassis ground.
We're worried that maybe a wire chafed.
On the primary side?
On the from the wall side to the transformer, yes, on the primary side.
All right. What is these?
The thing is, it's not a direct short because you had at 10 volts didn't blow the fuse, but at 12 volts it did blow that 2 amp fuse.
Yeah, well, I couldn't get it above 12 volts. I had the variac turned up to 20. But the voltage that I saw on the primary never got above 12 or 11 or something like that.
So it was being pulled down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the things that are on the primary side, I'm trying to remember from memory here. You have the AC power light, fan, the fuse, and like one other thing.
Huh. I wonder if the AC power light's shorted out. Maybe there's a problem with the socket or something.
The AC power light should be 6 volts. That shouldn't be on the primary side at all.
I thought it was a primary. It could be a 6-volt, 43 bulb.
Yeah, sometimes they like to use neon bulbs for that, but maybe not in this case.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's part of the filament circuit. I'm pretty sure the power light bulb is, yeah, so the power light bulb is on the F3 to F4 filament chain. So that's a 6.3 volt thing.
That was a number 43 bulb. Well, we know the fan's fine because that spun that first time around.
Well, the first time, yeah. I mean, everything worked the first time around, right? Like, we even had high voltage the first time around. So, like, what?
Dang dirt daubers.
I'm not even sure it's dirt daubers. All right, so that's T2 and T3. Where's T1? What does T1 do? Is that in the high voltage system? I feel like T1 is the high voltage.
Again?
Oh no, I'm just running it off of what I've got on stored on my hard drive.
Yeah, let me find that. Okay, from in channel.
Yeah, I feel like T1 was the transformer that's inside the flyback.
Probably is the pancake. I'll look here.
T1 is HV voltage.
Yeah, so but that one
is an oscillator is totally independent.
Yeah, it doesn't go to mains or anything like that. It's not
directly connected to the mains. It's connected to an oscillator.
Yeah, so we don't need to worry about T1. It's just these two big chunky boys on the bottom, T2 and T3. We've proven that
when you have a short, you start disconnecting things until it doesn't short anymore. So I would say disconnect T1, T2, T2, T3. Make sure you don't have a short. Reconnect T2. Make sure you don't have a short. Reconnect T3.
So I can remove one leg of mains from T2
and T3.
So if I pull T2, if I remove a leg of mains off of T2, that pulls T2 completely out of circuit, right?
I would pull both. Start both T2, T3 off.
Oh, you're going to go all the way out and then work our way up, as opposed to work our way down. I'm trying to desolder less.
So go back to a position where you don't have shorts and then add stuff.
Okay. So the only reason that I'm hesitant is because I don't particularly know how best to insulate a wire flapping in the breeze that's going to have mains AC on it.
Do you have any Marats or God, what are they called? Wire nuts?
I might.
I think there are some wire nuts in the comments section.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally like Teflon. Thank you.
You're a slippery character.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where's my
I
AC
still have a
coming
couple
in?
of the-
And he's got
I still have a couple of really old ceramic ones floating around, but
Bakelite ones too. I got.
All right, so this is my AC plug. It comes into this terminal block right here. Out of this terminal block, it goes into the blue wire, which fucks off to no man's land.
Does this have a little block that all the AC lines go to? That is little thing that
the little screw terminal blocks.
It's not a screw terminal block. It's got a terminal block, but it's all solder.
Is it like kind of? Does it look like it has like tar on the top of it?
No.
Is okay.
It's just like a little. I mean, you can see it right here. Let me get the camera pointed at it.
Hold on. Okay.
Like the AC comes in right here.
Let's wait for Twitch to catch up.
Yeah, the lighting's not great, but.
So I don't know if this device has it, but some of these had. Oh no, this is before the line. Okay, never mind. Some of these had a. Yeah, that's not okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it's just like a little solder terminal thing. So like one line of the AC goes all the way up to the toggle switch, and then comes from the toggle switch through the thermal cutoff back down to here, or
what?
Vice versa. It goes through the thermal cutoff.
Okay, I just had a stupid thought. Okay, so we have one leg of the raw AC going all the way up the front to the power switch. Check that wire and make sure it hasn't abraded on one side or something like that, shorted to something.
That's a lot easier said than done. Yeah.
Oh.
It's all loomed up is the problem.
Okay, well, if it's loomed up with other stuff, then it would have to damage the whole loom to produce a short, the way that I'm thinking.
Yeah. Not only that, I think it's also insulated.
Have we tried checking the resistance to of just the both poles of the AC line on this?
Well, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going with Mark's suggestion here, and we're going to remove T2 and T3 out of the circuit. That essentially means that all we have left is the AC loop before it even gets to the primary, right? And if that blasts a fuse, then we've narrowed it down to like 3 components, right?
Yeah,
that's the idea.
I'm just waiting for my soldering iron to warm up. That's why I haven't done it yet.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I need to put a new tip on this thing.
I'm bad with my soldering iron. I leave it on. I've left it on overnight once.
That's not a fire hazard.
I got a friend of mine that says ironed 800 degrees.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It chews through tips like you wouldn't believe.
Mine's at 400 degrees Celsius, but I get on and off so quick.
Mine has an automatic shut off if you leave it alone. So
mine, I've gone through 2 tips over the years on mine, so it's really not that bad. I don't.
Jesus, that's getting bad.
Yeah.
My insulation.
Good reasons to keep the temperature low, because once you get above 800 Fahrenheit, You run the risk of actually vaporizing the lead, which is extremely hazardous for your health.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was
So
harder.
don't
than
do that.
Okay. I'll turn it down.
All right. Well, I guess I can remove both wires. There's two. So on T3 down here, there's two wires that go to it. They go to the primary side, and I don't know why there's two.
Boosting power for something else.
Yeah, I think the brown wire. Let me check that. Where's my multimeter at? I think the two brown wires here are sending AC power up to the upper transformer. So I didn't actually need to desolder the upper transformer. I could have just taken off the wire on the bottom here, I think. Let me check Q. I mean, I've already done it, so. Yeah. So that's a direct connection. So if I remove the red wire from that'll remove absolutely everything. So let's try that.
Let's see here. People think that this is a complicated chassis to work on. Go work on a Zenith television.
Ugh. All right, it's not pretty, but it's disconnected. Oh, well, it should be disconnected. There we go. All right. Whew. That one's still hot. All right, I'm gonna put some electrical tape around that. It's not the most ideal solution, but it'll get the job done for temporary testing. All right, so if I've got the wire disconnected here, I mean the primary doesn't, so absolutely nothing should happen at this point. Like fan shouldn't spin, lights shouldn't come on, nothing should happen. I should be able to put 120 volts into it. Fuse won't blow because we're just open circuit all around, right? Like the transformers have to be in the circuit in order for it to do anything.
Yep.
Things are
Okay.
fine.
You'll get the fan.
I would still use a variac when you have shorts, on the AC. I always put variac.
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna do that, but I'm just trying to figure out what we're expecting to see here.
The fan.
No, I don't think even the fan is going to spin, because I think it's dependent on being on the primaries being in circuit, right?
I don't. It's not in series.
The fan should come on.
No, the fan definitely won't come on, actually, because the fan is.
Oh, is that what the wiring was?
Is that the wire? Yeah, depends which wire you.
Yeah, the fan is plugged into T2 up here. The fan is soldered to T2.
Okay.
Okay.
And right now there's the wire. There's no AC that can make it to T2.
Yeah.
Here you go. Okay.
So we expect nothing.
Yeah, we expect the fuse to not blow is what we expect.
Right.
So I'm gonna put in a 1 amp fuse. I'll go down to 1 amp. 1 amp will be fine.
Got plenty of this. Don't care, right? It's gonna blow or not.
Yeah, it should be nothing. Like nothing should blow. Like nothing at all should happen. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards here.
You should be able to test the input impedance on your plug, right? You'll know right away.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let me get the.
You can just measure the resistance at this point on the input.
It should be.
Oh yeah, I guess I can just measure. That's not a bad idea. It should be infinite. If I just measure across the
Or in the
two.
iMag home.
It should be infinite or your fan, but you since you tell you the fan's disconnected, then it should be yes. It should not be connected to any.
Yeah, infinite. 0.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, overload.
So you want to reconnect just T2? Because we suspect that T2 was fine all along.
Well, T2 gets its feed from T1, so there's really no way for me to get power. Or T2 gets its feed from T3.
T3, you mean?
Yeah, so there's really no way for me to get power up to T2.
Okay, so because I get it. So
I can connect up T1, or I can connect up T3, leaving T2 fully out of circuit. Yeah, I think that's a more credible test here. Let's do that.
When you connect it up one leg at a time and check, because if it shorts immediately with only one connected, you're shorted to the frame somewhere.
Well, I had one leg connected to T3.
Right. You only T3. You only lifted one. Okay.
Yeah. Getting a little tired of burning the shit out of myself, but
that's the name of the game with this hobby. You lose your fingerprints.
Yeah.
Use those things called pliers.
All right. So our overload test when that was unplugged was actually a bad test because I didn't have the power switch on.
Oh.
But I've got T2 soldered back, T3 soldered back up now. So this is going to show overload, and then if I flip the power switch on, we should see T3.
Should be somewhere in the couple
4.5 ohms
ohm range. Yeah, that's fine.
4.5 ohms sounds all right to me. So
it's not T3 shorting.
If let's see here, let me take this guy.
There goes my theory. Well, it could short on the other side.
Yeah, we could have a secondary short on T3.
But...
So we're going to see if it pops a fuse just with T3 hooked up. T3 isn't.
T3 is. What is the output of T3?
T3 is the two high voltage rails, but I've got all the plugs unplugged right now, so it's literally
85 volts secondaries.
Yeah, but it's not actually even making it to any of that. It just goes through the rectifier diodes and the filter cap, and then that's it.
Put a amp fuse in.
Yeah, that's what's in there right now, 1 amp.
Okay. Yeah, because the inrush of the transformer might pop a half.
I would do full.
Well, we're on a Variac, by the way.
Oh, we're ramping it. Okay, then never mind. Don't mind me.
We're on a. You missed it. This Variac is a beast. It's a maximum of 18 amps.
Holy cow! Oh dear Lord, that is.
Yeah.
Very steampunk. I enjoy it.
Serious. She ain't messing around.
Straight out of a submarine.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it should be in U751 or whatever the movie is.
All right, why is my multimeter? Oh, because I'm in the millivolt range. There we go.
That'll do it.
All right, multimeter is currently at whatever 7-8 volts, but the main power switch is off. So let's flip the power switch on. This is 1 amp fuse, T3, no fan, no T2. Actually, you know what's a better test? Let me check the AC voltage at T3. We know that the variac is pretty accurate. The gradations on the variac are within a volt or two. We checked that earlier. So let's see what T3 is seeing. Because if the fuse goes, T3 will show us nothing at all. Yeah, so there's 10 volts. We popped the fuse when I tried. Oh, there it went. So I tried to get up to about 15 volts and the fuse went.
Ah, so we have a problem with T3 secondary somewhere?
Unhook the secondary and see if we have the same result.
All right. Well,
that is wild. Why would we pop? What's the secondary voltage on this? Mark?
You get two secondaries.
25 on one and 210 on the other.
So
yeah.
well,
that's the DC. The AC is 138 AC and 141 AC.
Yeah. That's actually the better case because you have only two secondaries, so now you disconnect both secondaries.
We'd only be putting about 80
Is that
volts or
accessible
so?
to you?
50.
Yeah, I can get. Let's see here. I'm on. Well, that's not the right schematic. Hang on. That's the wrong. That's the right
yeah,
schematic.
We only be getting
revision.
about 50 some volts.
There we go. So this is T3, and it's 250 AC and 205 AC because I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I can remove B1 and B4.
Did you test with voltage with T3 completely disconnected? I mean,
No.
I know you measured it with a meter, but did you test it with live AC voltage?
No, we can try that.
And yeah, disconnect it and, connect your meter to it and put a new fuse in and crank the variac.
You're still thinking it's a primary side thing.
Yeah. This will isolate it.
So right now, this is AC. Both transformers are completely disconnected.
Okay, cool.
But no, that's the point of disconnecting the secondaries. If it still blows, then you know it's a primary problem. If it's we connect one secondary at a time to find out which one is going to.
Well, remember, we forgot to turn on the power switch when we had everything disconnected. So we didn't technically have a valid test the first time.
Okay. You're doing something else here.
This is quick and easy. We might as well just knock it out.
I'm with you.
Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm checking the AC line that goes into T3, but the AC line is disconnected from T3 at this point. So we should see it just be like raw AC, mains wall AC coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to, I shouldn't have 1 volt on it, but whatever. All right, so there's 2.5 volts. If we get up to, there's 10. If we go above 10, that's when it was popping it before, but there's 20. I'm pretty sure this is totally fine.
Yeah,
there's 50, fine. 60, yeah, 70, 80. If it was going to blow something up, it would have done it by now.
Yeah, it would have done it. Okay. So if we're stopping at 20 on the primary, that would be what, 60 something volts on the secondary? That's pretty low.
We're not even getting to 20. It doesn't ever get above 12 volts on the primary. So as soon as we get beyond 10, it loads up so much that that I can't even though I'm raising the variac up, the voltage doesn't raise up. The voltage at the primary doesn't raise up, at least.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, we'd have to disconnect the secondary and just see if the transformer's happy.
I can
or
do
if
that.
it's something.
That's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna bring both secondaries out.
Yep. And
I mean, I only got to take one leg off of the secondary for it to.
yeah, exactly. And my bet is that you're going to be fine.
Yeah. So the question
Hopefully,
is,
let's shoot for the better ending here.
Ouch. God, I gotta stop doing stuff by fingers. This is starting to burn.
Get your hemostats.
I know.
Just gifted a set of them, and I'll never go back.
It's one of the best tools I've got, man.
And since they're stainless, the solder doesn't really stick to them. So.
All right, let me double check the windings here. B2 is the one that shows me with my double resistors on it. Yeah, that makes sense. B1 I can remove. And then B4 and 5, if I just remove one of those, that should get us out of trouble, right? All right, so this wire's got to come off. These are pretty skinny wires.
What was it with the double resistors?
Yeah, there's 2 resistors in parallel on B2.
Are you looking at the wrong schematics?
That's like the theme of today's episode. I'm looking at the wrong schematics.
Well, the serials don't match, which is the hilarious thing.
Yeah, so I've got the HP-150A-AR manual.pdf open, and the page I'm looking at is page 71.
Okay, that's not the page I'm looking at. Oh, I see resistors. Okay.
Yeah, you see those double resistors?
That matches your unit.
Yeah, I've got those double resistors right here.
Okay. Cool.
All right. The secondary should be totally disconnected now.
So well.
Perfect.
So we should have 0 problems.
Should I bet something?
I don't want to bet anything. I want it to work.
Well,
I don't want to have to try to hunt down a transformer.
All right, that switches off. Just gonna go ahead and get you primed and ready to go. Let me pop another 1 ampere in it.
You need to get a circuit breaker on that.
Yeah, well, I didn't think we were going to be doing violent testing. All right, I'm going to pop a 2 ampere in it because I'm running low on 1 amperes. I'm going to try and balance my 1 amps and 2 amps as we burn them through them.
That's normal. That's what happens when you have short Sveyer linear power supply. You have a lot of fuses.
Either that or you use a light bulb and it takes the brunt.
Yeah. All right.
You guys are way too advanced.
Well, you don't use a bullet to see when it fires. You got a short. 10 volts. We see.
Yeah. We're up to 20, 30. Bet you we can just.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're fine. There's 50, 60.
Nothing on. All right.
Cool. That's good.
And then now you go eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, which one do we want to connect up? Do we want to do the double resistor one or the other one?
Well, just measure the resistance first.
Wow.
That hasn't served us well, but...
Well, of the secondary to see if we have a direct short, because we're obviously pulling a ton of current.
Oh, you're thinking a direct short of the secondary winding?
No, of the secondary circuit. Like, measure the wire.
Well, that winding's 3 ohms.
The double resistor one has at least 2.6 ohms in circuit, right? Because of the parallel 5 ohm resistors when you measure them.
Yes.
So that should be
it's
the
a high
safest.
voltage circuit, so it should be fairly low. It should be fairly high, like
Yeah, it's 900
30
kiloohms.
ohm or so. Yeah.
And then this
The
one
other
is.
one has the delay relay in it.
But that one measures out to 2.2 mega ohms. So there's not a direct short going on here.
Could we have? I wonder if you soldered this back on and it'll work, because it might have been a solder bridge that we couldn't see until you melted it.
What are you talking about?
Could have been a solder blob that fell on it.
On this? No, the
Oh.
terminals are so far apart, the solder blob would have to be an inch in diameter. I think I would see that.
Oh. Yeah, true.
All right, let's solder the. Which one doesn't have the time delay relay?
B2, B1.
That's the resistor guy.
Yes.
So let's get that guy back on, because I'm starting to think that the time delay relay is going to be our issue here.
I thought that when we were initially powering it up, if I remember right, because I remember it clicking and then all havoc. And I thought it welded, but it didn't. I thought we tested that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to test it right now. All right. So.
Okay.
This is only one of the secondaries is soldered up. B1, B2 is the only secondary soldered up. B4, B5 is unsoldered. Let's flip the power switch on here. We got 2 volts on the primary. There's 9, 10, there's 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. We already got beyond wherever we got before, so I think that circuit's probably totally fine. There's 30 volts. Okay.
Yeah, so it's before B3, that's our problem. Before B5, well, I can't read.
Yeah. All right, so I can solder up the winding.
Before B5.
But what
there's
can
all
we
kind
remove?
of stuff going in there. Well, I would
Yeah.
check the diodes and the caps. They're straight after that thing.
Yeah.
Well, the caps he replaced already. Yeah, that's on a turret board.
Yeah. So C141's been replaced. But
Yeah.
There's a thermal relay and a turn-on relay.
The turn-on relay is the delay that we're talking about.
No, the turn-on relay is K4. That's the big brick. That's the one that kicks on the high voltage for everybody.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, and that relay is triggered by the thermal time delay. So the thermal time delay takes about 60 seconds to warm up. It snaps over, sends power into K4, the big boy, the turn-on relay, that kicks it off.
Oh man!
And powers everything. I think the schematic doesn't look like that though. That was my understanding of how it worked.
But what is it powered by? That because now I'm doubting the validity of experiment, because if K4 never turned on.
Well, we never get far enough for K4 to even kind of turn on.
You think you see the fuse will blow before K4 will even turn on?
Oh yeah. It takes about 60 seconds for K4 to turn on.
It blew before that time.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the overload relay has to kick off, which wait, how does the K4 relay turn on here?
Remind me, did you publish the VOD of that stream? The initial?
No, not yet. Not yet. I haven't published VOD since Christmas.
Okay.
They're all sitting in a folder waiting for Mickey to edit them. She'll probably publish about 6 VODs in a day. There's just going to be like a sudden stream of a bunch of them when she gets to them. How does K4 turn on, man? I don't see how K4 turns on.
Thermal delay relay. Right?
Let's go to.
Oh, it's between.
No. It's
It turns on
K4.
right away.
Not if the overload relay is off. Not if K2 is off. So if K2 kicks on, that shorts K4 to ground. So what controls K2? K2, I think, is controlled by the thermal time delay. What is the thermal time delay relay doing then? What does it control?
Does the high voltage on? Oh God, what was it? Let me find the schematic.
Oh, it connects up the center tap? No, because the K4 controls the center tap.
What page are you on?
71.
71. Okay, here we go. We'll get the fan.
All right, hear me out. If I remove the thermal time delay relay and I remove K4, that pulls them completely out of circuit. And then if I hook up the secondary and we do the same test that we just did with the Variac, that that gets us down to just like diodes and a couple of resistors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if K4 is gone, the center tap from B4 B5 goes to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well,
other
that's not a
side,
center.
ooh, the other side of it
That,
goes. That's interesting.
It goes to C141, right? You should
So,
yeah, I'm okay with that. Pull K40 and pull your thermal delay relay, and all you have is your secondary, your diode bridge, your caps.
Not quite. What is the negative 150 volt DC output that bypasses absolutely everything?
that, if I remember right, the 150 that goes to.
What is TB3?
Oh, that went to one of the. I remember looking this up. It was one of the doors. No, it was the pull drawer, if I remember right.
What?
Is that what TB3 means?
It was the accessory drawer, the time-based
You're thinking of the plug-in module. Yeah.
Module. Let me look.
Because like I'm looking at this thing, right? And you've got all this stuff, but also directly from the smoothing cap and the rectifier, you've got this minus 150 volt line that goes off to something. And the plug-in drawers or the plug-in module is a good idea. I'm not sure how to prove that. I don't know what TB3 stands for.
TB4 I found. Hold on here. I'm trying to remember where I found
TB3 parentheses 5. My guess is 5 would be schematic 5, but the schematics aren't numbered.
I know, I remember jumping around between 4 different versions of this manual to try to figure out what the heck that was.
Great, and had numerous issues during leaks being the most.
AJ, you got some bleed through there.
Oh, is that AJ?
Sorry.
AJ, we're catching you.
Three is a terminal, isn't it? I see TB4 on page 73. It's a terminal.
3.
Page 73.
Operator TB.
I see TB4.
TB4, but we're looking for TB3.
But it seems to be seems to be a terminal.
Oh, TB3 would be terminal block number 3. That makes sense.
Yeah, and pin 5. Pin 5 of terminal block number 3.
Yeah. All right. So where's terminal block number 3?
Good question. Glad you asked.
That would be further up because there's a block diagram. There's a terminal block diagram here. 5. What are these? Oh, that's switch. Those are wafer switches.
Because if we've got a
Just 49
short
connectors.
on that terminal block, then, you know, if we've got something going on that terminal block, that's pulling that secondary rail to ground, right? Like maybe a solder blob did fall onto that terminal block or something. Or maybe a dirt dauber built a nest on the terminal block and I just didn't see it.
Didn't see it, yeah. What are you? That's 150 volt going to what?
I haven't found it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, shit, that's how I'm starting to feel like.
Found J15, that's not it. That's a side door.
TB3. I wonder if it's labeled on the actual machine. So you guys hunt for it. I'm gonna.
But we could we could do this whole rigmarole. Or we could just do what you said. Pull your relays and try it and see if we still.
I don't. Well, the relay. This bypasses everything though. That's the problem. The relays wouldn't do much.
Yeah, and then we know it's that. And
That's true. Yeah.
Remove that wire. And then,
okay.
Yeah, I mean that's something that we can do while you guys hunt for teacher.
While we're hunting.
3.
it doesn't exist. It's I don't see it anyway.
What was the voltage? 150 something like that?
Minus 150, I think.
Nice.
All right. I can't remove K4. I can remove K2 and K1. K4 is a non-removable relay.
All it did.
Huh?
Really?
Yeah, it's on the
socket?
bottom. No, K2's on a socket. I don't know what K2 is, though.
There's an ice cube.
It's the overload relay.
Yeah, so if I remove K2, that disconnects quite a lot of stuff, too. And then if I remove K1, I think is the thermal relay, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot remove K4.
Yeah, K4 is on the bottom of the thing, and it's all soldered in.
Okay.
That's right. What is...
Okay, well, we keep doing, you keep disconnecting stuff, right? Then...
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can see a terminal block somewhere.
I'm just looking for the voltage negative 150, just on each schematic and seeing where they go.
I wonder if they name that connector that goes to the plug-in module as terminal block 3.
I don't think so. I might be misremembering. This has been a few weeks.
I think it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this secondary hooked back up. Relays are out. K1 and K2 are out. I don't know what that removes. Let me go back up to 71 here.
C1704, when the initial problem happened, I remember asking David to pull that thermal tube and check it. It was not shorted. It was not stuck closed.
Yeah, the thermal relay is not stuck. We measured that.
That was like the first thing I thought of. Like, hey, are we putting a huge amount of rush into this thing? What's going on here?
Wasn't there a wiring diagram of the whole unit somewhere?
In one of the manuals, yes, I believe so.
I don't see it in that one, so let's look at the other manual. There we go. Found it. Cable diagram.
All right, just added a fresh new burn to my hand.
JVP TB. Silicon rectifiers. You don't have those.
Yes, we do. We have silicon rectifiers.
Oh,
we have their
yes. It says to terminal boards TB2, TB3, TB4, TB5, and TB6.
Oh, they're the rectifier turret boards.
Well, no, that's what CR 33, 34, 35, and 36 are on. This is coming
So-
after those to something else.
There are terminal boards. That's Illuminati confirmed.
Uh,
On the other manual, serial above 1190,
yeah, I need to look at that. One.
page 91, there is a second reference to TB3, so it does exist.
And that's the front panel.
It's not
If it's on
shown.
NV1.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, TB2, TB3. I see TB3.
On what page here?
TB3 is on page 86 of
That's.
the serial above 1190 manual.
Oh,
I
you
don't know
were
if I have
right.
that one.
Gone.
And TB3 is
TB3.
the distribution for everything minus 150. So there's a whole bunch of stuff connected to that.
That's the turret board. That's the terminal block on the bottom. It's like the same ones that the AC power goes to. It's a soldered terminal strip.
So what else is on that terminal board? TB3. How many components are on TB3?
Well, you have about 20 wires.
Yeah, well,
There are
wires is
5
a lot.
pins, and the pin 5 is a distribution for minus 150. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires.
So
Does it have like resistors or anything on it?
We don't know.
Because I got resistor blocks here.
It says brown.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
brown
help.
wire from the transformer. But we go to terminal block 2, SR4, P21, P10, P22, and J2. So it goes to a connector on a door somewhere.
Connector on a
J2
door.
was on one of the swing doors on the side. The 2 circuit boards have connectors on them, and if I remember right, the left side had J2, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, anyhow, it does exist.
Yes.
Found it. We found the other end.
I'm trying to figure out where it exists on the machine. Is my next quest.
I think it's on the bottom where the transformer is.
Yeah, I see what you know. There's a lot of junk on the bottom.
No, I know.
None of it's labeled.
So
the
it's
reason I was
interesting-
asking about components is that I've got some turret boards here that actually have resistors soldered to them, and a bunch of
Yes.
wires on both sides.
Yes, I can tell. I see them in the schematics.
Yeah, here,
Let me get back to it.
But are those related to TB3 in any way?
No.
All right.
It's TB2 and TB6 have resistors on them.
Well, TB2 was connected directly to that. What did it say? Page 86.
All right. Well, I've got both secondaries wired up again, but I've got the 2 relays out.
Okay.
It was
Excitement
TB2
awaits.
terminal 2.
Like
Yeah,
that.
Brown
we're
wire.
definitely
It was
gonna pop
Zap
a fuse again.
Oh, that goes to the coil of K2 and K4.
All right. Let's see here. Let me get some electricity flowing.
I've learned their numbering scheme. If it has a parentheses and a number, that's the pin of whatever it is.
All right.
That directly goes to the
Not
coil
DC,
of K4.
AC.
Interesting.
All right. So, what voltage is the fuse going to pop at?
Hopefully at 200 volts, so we don't have to do any more.
I hope it pops and it's either the diodes or the caps.
There it went.
Well, the diodes are
Yeah,
6
so-
volts.
No, it got up to about 15 volts and then it popped.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm so behind.
diode or caps, right?
Yeah. Well, what else is in this circuit?
Not much.
I
Well,
mean,
you know what you
all
can
of
do?
minus 150s in the circuit.
You can remove our 2.
Oop, was that me or did Mark disappear?
He cut.
How
for a
much
second.
wiring loom is in that circuit?
All of it. Is the
Is that
correct
the-
answer.
It's
Holy
the one
crap,
thing
is
I
it
know
really
usually we
120?
can't see.
All right. I think we're going to
Yes.
have to call it here because it's 120 at night.
I know what Mark was going to say, because he said 2 point something. He wants you to remove the 2.7 ohm resistor.
Yeah, but with K40 removed, that 2.7 ohm resistor is attached to nut. With K4, oh, K4 isn't removed. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because K4, I wonder if K4 shorted somehow.
Well, what K4 and K1 do is soft start. It's a 2-stage turn on. It gives a certain amount of voltage first, then a second, then a third, basically. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with soft starts, man.
No, it's just in a series regulator tube circuit that's just a weird thing to do.
So what are the diodes?
yes.
What are the diodes that we're concerned with? What numbers are those?
CR33 through 36.
33, 34, 35, 36. Okay. CR. Let me get on diode check here.
Hopefully we don't break any more of those weird things.
Yeah. 36 is fine.
Okay. Mark that off.
Well, I say it's fine. My probe is bouncing all over the place. Yeah. And come on, get on there. 34 is fine.
Okay.
$35 is not fine.
Okay.
Neither is 33.
That would cause a direct short. Because those are opposing polarities.
Yeah. I swear we checked these though, and they were fine.
I could have sworn we did too. We took every single one. Oh wait, no. Did we?
We didn't take them out. We checked them in
Because-
circuit, and we checked
Right.
every single one, and anything that measured at 0.1 volts, we pulled,
Right.
which was 4 of them in a bridge, which have now been replaced.
On the on the T1.
Yeah, that's 25, 6, 7, and 8.
To bridge
Also-
these.
Yeah, yeah. This is starting to get annoying.
Why would they start cascade failing like that? That's a weird. You're not in a humid environment. I was gonna say maybe the humidity got to it, but you're in Texas.
Yeah, removed from circuit. It measures 0.032 volts in both directions. What's interesting is that they're different diodes. It looks like one had been replaced at one point. Oh, that one measured fine. So
which one was
35
that?
measures fine.
35 measures fine, but not.
Oh, you were measuring
33.
33 in parallel with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so 33
Yeah.
was shorted in parallel. That's why it measured wrong. 33, interestingly, is a replacement. That's not the original diode.
That's an
Uh,
HP part?
component.
I might have one of these. Hang on a sec. Not the exact same. What is a D818 diode?
D1 what?
818.
818. Diode.
Oh my gosh, that's got way too much.
That does not come up.
Electronic.
Where
It's a
is
Russian
my
diode.
GTE? Here's my GTE man. Oh my NTE manual. Hold on here.
Oh, Zener diode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not going to work. All right, so I've got to replace one diode, unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah, we've got CR33 went short. If CR33 shorts, does that create a dead short across the CR33 shorts?
My NTE book does not have this.
That short through, not the it will create a short through CR35. Right.
Yeah.
So on one period you have a short half period.
Yeah, and the replacement one that I pulled out is a 1N1084. That's the one that's
One in
bad. 1N1084. But that's not the original diode. This was a replacement at one point.
Old half amp rectifier diode sounds okay. That's what you
get it from surplus sales in Nebraska. It looks like.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what I got to do next is I got to machine another one of those bolts to fill the void.
Are those bolt diodes?
No, kind of, yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm just machining the bolt to snap it in and bring the essentially the lower wire on the bottom that I can't get to up to the top.
It says 1N1084 is a cartridge diode?
Yeah, they're cartridge diodes. They're literally polarized little pieces of. They're weird.
Yeah,
they're
very
like
strange.
fuses. They go in like fuses.
Oh.
It looks like a top hat diode, but a little elongated.
They look like a fuse.
Yeah.
They look just like a fuse. I thought they were fuses at first. I didn't realize that they were diodes.
Never seen them, but it's not a strong diode at all. Half an amp.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of replacements, but they're just like they're normal diodes, right?
That's a weakling. That's a weakling of a diode, so that must be an early thing.
Well, I mean, think about the age of it's a silicon diode. That's the thing that caught me off guard.
It's silicon, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 1N4004, right? Will probably do.
This is what we were replacing them with. I think that's what I told David to buy at one point.
Yeah, I've got some. But those are normal diodes that have to be soldered in. And I can't get to the lower wires, so I got to machine up another one of those bolts to jumper across the thing.
Do we take the other one out? We're not using that other transformer right now. Just
no, because it's 1:30.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't realize how late it was.
And I'm going to bed. I am very, very sleepy.
Don't blame you.
Yep. All right.
We found a bad component.
Yes,
Success.
we did. It took us all goddamn night, but we got there.
Well, it wasn't obvious, so good job.
Yeah.
It should have been obvious. We already had 4 of these go bad, so we should have checked it, but that what I need to do is I need to just pull that whole diode board out and remake it from scratch.
Well, just get some molded bridge rectifiers and just stuff them in there and be done with it.
Yeah,
Actually,
well,
no, you can't do that on the circuit.
Yeah, the problem is the wiring. Like I can't desolder the wires on the bottom, so I got to pull the whole thing out so I can remove all the wires. And then if I've got it out, I'll just put a little turret board or whatever in there with real deal diodes. We'll see if we can bodge this one through and go with it, but we'll do that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Thank y'all for the help. Next week, we'll be right back on this. And Mark, if you're hanging around next week, we're also going to be, if this goes smoothly, I don't expect it will, but if it does go smoothly and we get squiggles out of it, we're going to go over to your scope next.
Okay, I looked at it and it's very similar to the 180.
Okay.
182 that I just did, but.
Yep, but I want to get the 150A going first. I feel like we got momentum on it, and I have a emotional attachment to it. So.
Yep, I mean, it looks like.
Yep, we'll get it up and going.
I'll take you another session. All right.
Yep. All right. See y'all next week.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Good night.